Hey, it's me, Puppet DM, and I'm here to tell you all about the sponsors we have here at the Wandering Society. We're sponsored here by VtM Press, makers of a bunch of 5th edition supplements, like the Book of Kobold or their series of new classes. And don't forget, Arcmada, the amazing sci-fi fantasy campaign setting for the world's greatest role-playing game. Be sure to check them out at store.magenpress.com. Up next, we have Roll20. It's the platform we use here at the Wandering Society to play all of our games. It's easy to use, intuitive, and it now comes with dark mode. Be sure to check them out at roll20.net. We're also sponsored by R. Talsorian Games. R. Talsorian Games make great RPGs, and they've been doing so since the early 90s. Check their books. They've got Cyberpunk Red, which Simon tells me has been played here extensively, Castle Falkenstein, which also has been played here, and The Witcher, which has also been. Okay, we get it! Check them out at your FLGS or online at rtalsoriangames.com. Have you ever wanted to wake up and smell the coffee? Well, now you can with this next sponsor, Found Familiar. Get yourself some damn good coffee at foundfamiliar.com and use the code on the screen to get 15% off. What do you mean I can't drink coffee? What the fuck is felt? And we couldn't end this segment without talking about our good friends at Die Hard Dice. That's right. As a Dice affiliate, we are proud to partner with Die Hard Dice to bring you only the best in shiny click-clacks. Click-clacks? What is... Ow. You can check their ever-growing collection over at dieharddice.com and use the link below to get 15% off. You're putting this all on me? I better get a cut. Hello. Good evening. The hunt. It is what drives vampires. To wake up each night, the inexorable call of the blood of the beast to feed. We call it the hunt, but it does not have to be a proper hunt. Some kindred would sooner meet final death than to prowl the streets and trash-filled alleyways of Montreal. They hunt the same way you, a mere mortal, would hunt at a fast food joint, perusing a menu, then choosing your morsel of choice. The hunt is what drives the damned. So much so that their lingo has been modeled around hunting. Words like predator, prey, kine, chasse. And that is not including all the various names kindred have to call each other according to their hunting patterns. The hunt is what drives kindred, but not always to feed. Sometimes the undead have to hunt down unwanted elements out of their domain. Sometimes they must hunt those who would threaten the delicate masquerade the kindred have built to hide their existence among us. Tonight is the start of such a hunt. Coterie has caught the scent, at last, of their quarry. Time to let loose the hounds. I'm Simon, at Wandering DM, and I will be your storyteller for tonight. Now, let's continue on with our story, shall we? Ah, wrong one! Hello, everyone. I made no mistakes, and I am a production genius.
Yep.
Once again, hello, I am Simon at Wandering DM. I will be your storyteller for this game of Vampire the Masquerade, Montreal by Night. Before we delve back into the action, let's introduce our coterie, our little cast of characters in our story. We'll begin with let's begin with the conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Hi, Pope. Mind you, the character is a conspiracy theorist because I feel like the way I'm introducing you is kind of weird.
Spade. Conspiracy theorist, is it really a conspiracy theory when there actually is conspiracy?
I mean, perhaps.
It's not paranoia if they rarely are out to get you.
And,
Although-
well, as kindred, they're always out to get you.
Always.
Porque no los dos? You know, we can have them both.
Hey, everybody, Pope here. Pope Worldbill on Twitter, Pope Worldbill on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams, and back with this wonderful Montreal by Night crew playing Arthur Porter. Both of us use he, him pronouns, and tis the season of whack-a-mole. As one problem shows its face, another problem invariably comes along that needs to have a mallet brought down upon it. We'll see which problems crop up now.
Up next, someone who cleaned up a mess last week and who might make a mess this week. Deirdre.
Hashtag not the Ravnos' fault. Hey everyone, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter or Praxagorth as Neophoria. You see me around here on Twitch, your friendly neighborhood Prax. And I get to play Florica Flori Winters, your friendly Ravnos, who's here to do a murder. And then, you know, also ends up cleaning up after a bruja who makes a mess in, you know, just, it was like finger painting day at the preschool. Just saying.
And last but not least, the finger painted, the one who actually even ate the paint he painted with. Hey, Trooper.
I'm Trooper SJP, and I am playing Lucky Dixon, who is a bruja who I like to think of, you know, as a little bit more Jackson Pollock than it was finger painting, you know? Just, you know, throwing buckets of blood everywhere. You know, just spatters, like huge canvases. You know what I mean? Like you want like massive canvassed. Great. I am happy to be here. I'm playing a bruja who is very friendly most of the time until he's not, but most of the time very friendly. We are in Montreal, which Simon tells me was a place that was run by the Sabbat until recently. And when the Sabbat ran a place, it was less pleasant to live in. Was my understanding that it was not great. People went missing all the time, and blood ran in the streets. Is that right?
It looked a lot like what you did to this poor kid.
Oh, what? I wasn't even there though. What? Anyway,
And-
I feel like it's way better now, right? I mean,
And by poor kid, I mean broke college student.
yeah, who didn't do anything besides like get caught up in some scam and then was brutally murdered by my character. But you know, Phil, my character doesn't feel that bad about it. So
Yeah, but hashtag no regrets, so.
no regrets.
Look, stalking has consequences. I'm just saying. And if you're stalking vampires, it even has more consequences.
They might eat you and play with their food first.
So yeah, that's what happened last week.
Ooh.
Lucky played with his food while Flory was busy trying to erase any traces of your activities.
that was the Rapnos' fault. All the cleaning up and like making sure no bad things happened, that is all on Flory. She fixed all of that. That's all her
Okay,
fault.
so that's not my fault. That's my...
Well, if somebody asked, like a cop was like, somebody here went around and just cleaned up the whole scene, whose fault is that? We wouldn't tell them, of course, but in our mind we'd think that was Flory's fault. She did that. Yeah.
No.
After cleaning up this whole mess, Arthur came in a specifically prepared car to haul a very bloody Lucky back to his haven.
Yeah.
Lucky had a bath, the car had a bath, and Flory began investigating the phones. Things were found. Information were found that this Ezekiel Luongo was, in a way, trying to audition for some sort of reality TV. There's this producer, one Mr. Vargas, who asked them for footage. For some reason, you found out that most of the places that Mr. Vargas mentioned are hives of vampiric activity. Some are just completely random, but it feels like they were just there to, as one would say, muddle the whole affair. One more thing that was found is a brief email conversation between Mr. Vargas and Mr. Luongo, in which Vargas sort of offhandedly admits that he knows about Steve. And he knows that Zeke knows Steve, or at least he thought that he would. And tried something to maybe get in touch, or anyway, move Zeke to try to take videos like the one that True Witness was taking, or had taken, at least that one video. Not only that, but through other researches, it was found that there were houseless people had been attacked. It was kind of a very strange turn of event for them. You've heard about it through a newspaper made and sold by the houseless population of Montreal, the Itinéraire, and they were sort of warning each others that sometimes when you fell asleep, if you had to fall asleep outside, some strange individual that tried to assault some of them. One even admitted to have been woken up by this person who was biting his ankle. But finding that information sort of awoke something inside Flory. A pang in her stomach, a call in the back of her mind. Cleaning up that entire delicious mess in St. Lawrence, Cégep made you hungry. And might be time to get a snack before you keep on trucking. We're picking back up where we left off, as Arthur and Lucky came out of their respective... Oh, no, that's not true. We left off with someone saying, fuck it, and shutting off a phone.
And walking out the door.
Lucky Arthur. But it was more like she was like, oh, I've got a meeting. I've got something to do. I'll see you later. So yeah, it wasn't suspicious.
No, it wasn't. I just said, I'll see you all later, and then walked out the door.
Not at all suspicious.
And so I would like to know, we'll just linger the camera here for just a moment longer. Arthur Lucky, you are around a table in a living room where, the phones were left. Some of them, I think, Flora, you took one with you, or did you just throw it back on the table?
No, she copied the information she needed out of Ezekiel's phone, but she left all of the phones
Okay.
here because she knows that Artie has certain protections on his building, or at least would. So, but she's made and also to leave them for them to kind of look at further if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm. All right. Then all the phones are on the table. Artie and Lucky. Is there anything?
I just like after Laura leaves, looking at the phones. This is a tomorrow me's problem. This is not current me's problem. I will not need to be spending my waning hours of the night taking a look at all these people's stuff.
Artie.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got somebody who knows something about us here in Montreal, but doesn't know everything, maybe. Somebody who's deliberately sloppy so that we'll find out about it. Somebody who dumped a baby vamp here in the city, which is going to cause trouble. Everything is threatening a breach of the masquerade, right? To get people to move, to act, to feel threatened maybe, to doubt each other.
There's a play being made, yeah.
How much do you think this play is about getting us to show our hands or to raise our heads up out of the wherever we lay them? What if somebody's just waiting to see who moves, who they move with?
Again, this could be a number of things. Until we have more information, it's too vague. I mean, it could easily be a bored Malkavian, which is one of the worst things that you can ever have in a city. This could be somebody from the old guard that got out, that's come back in, sees who's here, and just wants to, find out who's claiming what and who's got what. This could be somebody brand spanking new that's trying to move in. Like it's too vague. If we're going to start casting a net around this, the best thing to do is, for those that are already here in this community, just walk about, ring stuff up, get them informed. If they keep sitting on their hands, well, that just means that it's less competition and more responsibility put upon others. And if they are dumb and lazy enough to do that, then they are going to end up having to follow what I want them to do.
Whoever it is, they don't want it to explode in fire. They've been careful to make sure all these possible breaches are only possible and only known to us, more or less. If they really wanted to explode everything, they would have put that video on the internet. They would have done all sorts of things, but they didn't.
The original video is a very specific problem. I do not know if it ties in with this one. The turning of someone and dropping them off, a cative. Caitiff problem is that is either exceptionally deliberate or very stupid and messy. There is no in between. And it is someone who is powerful enough to weather that storm. Because when one of us sires another, it takes a good bit out of us.
I figure they may not be in the city at the moment. They might be sitting somewhere else watching.
Still, if that was an embracing dump, they're not far.
No. Well, I hope we can find who they are, because maybe we can learn something from that vampire eye. Artie, it feels like a trap. Feels
Everything's
like
a trap.
bait. Feels like bait.
The caitiff's not baked, per se. The caitiff is an issue that somebody has put a fox in the hen house and wants to see which of the good sons on the farm is going to deal with it.
Right, bait.
No, it's not bait per se. This is a test. Bait is very specific. Bait is if you want to catch something. This is an observation. And it's who's going to mobilize their resources to deal with the issue. Now, my gut tells me if I bring this to the Anarchs, just with how Yuma's been handling things, as long as it's not in his territory, he ain't gonna care.
Yeah.
However, Caleb, Diana, they might actually get off their hands for this one. So, tomorrow night, I'm gonna hit them both up, see what they got to say. It's also just important to be neighborly. So,
what would happen if you called a meeting rather than hitting up one or those two? What would happen if you called a meeting?
I do not have the power base yet to do that.
Oh,
I do not have the respect. Yes, but it was enough people called in enough favors. That was multiple folks needing the meeting, not one. And besides, one of those people I'm going to be talking to is the one that really helped organize the thing, and that's Caleb. That is somebody who is definitely invested here and is not on my radar of suspects. If anything, Caleb is somebody to be cultivated as a friend. So, I'm going to be friendly.
All right. Do you need me tomorrow?
No, you should touch base with makes what you. Beast got off the chain. If you want to be able to put your head on straight, you need to reconnect. Trust me, I've had it happen before for myself, and it took me weeks. So you should take it easy for the next couple of months.
I'm fine, actually. I'm more than fine.
You're not fine, Lucky. You think you're fine, but you're not fine.
No, I am fine. That hunger that's always itching in the back of your mind, it's not there right now. I'm feeling great. These things
Reconnect with
sometimes
your
happen.
people. Don't do that.
Don't give me orders, Artie.
Somebody who cares about you, don't start down that path. Please.
Don't give me orders. I'm taking care of myself. If I were feeling bad, I would do something about it, but I'm not feeling bad at all.
Just try and take it easy for the next couple of nights.
All right.
as we
He heads out.
fade out on the scene, the camera will pan through the floor and then come back up in the mirror image. We see the streets of Montreal. It hasn't rained in a while. It's a little windy. There's like a burger wrapper flying on the wind. A couple of people out and about. Flory walking down the streets around Little Italy. You're a tad hungry. And prospects aren't as ample as you thought they would be. You find someone, however, in an alley between two apartment buildings. A lone guy.
Okay. This is where I might have to mess with your plan a little bit, my wonderful storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
Because she is hungry, but she is also a Ravnos who's had a bestial fail. So her bane is in effect. Which means that there are certain things that happen for a Ravnos.
Mm-hmm.
Their give a fuck is broken.
Mm-hmm.
And the daredevil's kind of in play. But at the same time, she's also a professional and she's not rude. She kind of balances these things, even when she gets really hungry. Unless, of course, she's like full frenzy, which hasn't happened in a very long time. We don't talk about that. It was a very long time ago. It was complicated. It was fine. There were a bunch of people shooting. They're very dead. It's fine. But she likes Rajul Aman. And she thinks, she doesn't want to be horrible. So she's like, has a thought.
What is?
This whole thing would have been so much easier if Alex hadn't lied to her.
Mm-hmm.
So she was going to, if it's okay with you, rather than dine in the nearby, relatively secure area that's the haven that already has, she was going to let Alex know exactly why you don't lie to a Ravnos. She's going to dine first and then freak him the fuck out. But she's going to dine in his neighborhood intentionally.
That
Yeah, no.
we can have the same victim actually that you rolled earlier. That doesn't matter.
And Pope's face.
The
For those of you
location.
playing at home,
Yep.
please clip this so we can get Pope's face on like a GIF. Thank you.
The location of your hunt will change, but the type of person will stay the same.
Mhm.
Some angry punk tagging the side of a building. There's the loud music coming out of his earbuds, loud enough that from the street you can hear it, even though they're deep inside an alley. You notice that it's not just tagging that they have on their minds tonight. Next to a few discarded spray cans, they also have a baseball bat. And a brick, which could just be a brick lying there, but it feels a little too convenient that the brick is right next to the baseball bat, right next to the paint, right next to the angry guy tagging a giant middle finger in yellow paint on the side of an old brownstone. You can smell the not giving a fuck coming out of him. It's almost like he's taunting you to feed on him. He's close enough to his baseball bat that if you're not careful, despite the music, he could very well whack you over the face with it.
He can't hear me.
Well, if you weren't a Ravnos, he could whack you over the face with it.
She has sense.
That is true.
She has a silence of death. He literally cannot hear her. He could see her if she was in his line of sight.
Corner of his eyes, yes.
But he can't hear her.
But what we'll need to do, or what I will ask you to do for this whole, to see how well this goes. I will need you to make a difficulty 2, since this is the district that Alex lives in. So difficulty 3 normally, -1 because he's completely unaware and not on his guards. And the roll would be dependent on how you feed.
Usually she's feeds on, she's a sandman. She feeds on those who are asleep, breaking into their homes, taking what she needs and leaving.
Yeah,
she's very good at it, but this is, her give a fuck is broken. And she's a little pissed at Alex.
Yeah, and with how many hours you have left, if you want to leave Alex a message.
Well, the snack is a secondary message. She's going to have a conversation.
No, that's what I meant. Like, if you wanted to feed and then go see Alex, like, time is running out.
So what she does is, as she, hears the music, sees him, sees all of this, she reaches up and pulls her hair intentionally and pulls a pin from her sleeve and pins it up, which I would do, but the pin just fell out, so it's not going to happen. And she's really happy that fashion has changed so that athletic wear is now considered acceptable fashion wear. So she just puts this little hood up on her, athletic shirt that she's wearing over the black athletic pants that she's wearing. And she's going to stealth up behind him. And he's got his earbuds in, he's tagging this building, he's got the brick there. She's going to shove his face into the wall.
Okay.
And then hold it there while she has a snack, and then a little bit harder to just put him back to sleep.
Hot. Can you make a dexterity and Stealth, yes, thank you. Difficulty a 2.
Oh, wait, hold on. I clicked the wrong thing. Please hold.
No problem.
No extra dice. There we go. Oh, it's a bestial failure.
Unless you want to spend a point of willpower to reroll those 3 black dice.
Sure, why not? I mean, Trooper's thinking something. No, that's 2 more successes.
It's not a bestial failure.
No, because it's not a fail. Yeah.
Yes, it's only bestial failure if you fail the roll and you have a 1.
We have to remember, so you don't have to roll your willpower, because that is 2 successes.
Okay, so it would have been 2 successes.
Yeah.
It would have been 2 successes. I have to remind myself never to look at the words and only look at the dice.
I think it's good to think of it as a heads up that it could be a bestial failure. You just have to double check.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
Or a messy critical. So it's not just because it says so doesn't mean that it is. It means that it could be.
Look at the dice.
I think the logic was just too difficult for it to program. Whoever did this.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But 2 successes is all we needed.
Mm-hmm.
And so you grab the back of his head, slam it against the brick wall. You hear the crack of his nose, which at this point his nose is used to being broken.
But it's now going to be covered in yellow spray paint.
Yellow spray paint. Yep, there's like a line on his face. I was gonna add a thing. Yes, one of his earbud falls to the ground. The camera follows the little Apple earbud fall down, because that's all good punks are wont to do. They buy overpriced earbuds. And we see just Florrie's foot step on it, crunches it as she, gets a step closer right up against Punk's neck. And Florrie, you drink. And it tastes... The anger at the world that this person is feeling is almost intoxicating. Except you can feel the sort of like, it's like a fake hunger. It's like artificial flavor anger at the world. You have drank from people who have a reason to hate the world. This guy's a jacked up white guy. Probably just someone who has, looking for themselves, searching themselves. Might take a wrong turn and turn into a full-blown alt-righter. Might take a good turn and turn into a full-blown anarchist. But right now, it's more like I have pent-up frustrations against a world I find unfair because my mom kicked me out of her apartment at the tender age of 26. She said I should find a job. Still, there's a lot of blood in that guy. How hungry were you? And how much do you want to drink?
She doesn't drain him. She's going to go to about unconsciousness, but not drain him.
Well, the way it works in this case is it's going to bring him to unconsciousness one way or another.
Yeah.
But how many hunger points did you have at the moment?
3.
So you can go down to 1. Basically, the only way to go down to 0 is to outright empty the guy out.
Yeah, she's not that hungry. And she did just clean up after, even though her give a fuck is broken, she did just invest a lot of time in cleaning up after Lucky after he went on a murder spree and, well, no, excuse me.
Was it a spree?
It isn't a spree. It was a very messy slaying.
Oh, let me add just a thing. Just a thing. The guy's wearing the same tank top that Lucky was wearing when you left.
Yeah.
Oh, her give a fuck is seriously broken. So she didn't quite notice at the time because she came up behind him and is just wearing a shitty tank top and he pushed his face in. She pulls back and she just kind of then realize, still holding his head there, realize he's wearing the same tank top, and she's gonna put her other arm and forces the rest of him into the rest of that spray paint so it gets all on his shirt. And then he'll be unconscious. And then she just cleans up a little.
By the way, you have drank from choleric blood.
Okay.
Yeah,
I do.
It does a thing for potence and celerity. But that's it. No, he's not a bully. He doesn't have a dyscrasia. He doesn't have magical blood.
Okay, so then
it's just this is what you have, which also means now that you've drank from him, that say at the end of the session tonight, if you were to over the course of the session find someone to train you. But it basically means that until the next time you feed, you can learn celerity or potence. Now, if you had those disciplines, sometimes you can do more stuff with choleric blood. But in this case, if you don't have either, it just gives you like the ingredients.
Okay. She will not choose as she like kind of cleans up a little, cracks her neck, and then, you know, kicks the brick down the alleyway to like further down the alleyway. Not really touching it or anything, just kicking it. She chooses not to activate Lingering Kiss because this guy's a scum and she doesn't care. And fun fact, her give a fuck is still broken, so I should have gotten 2 dice. But no, I don't have a penalty. Sorry, I don't have a penalty because I did this way. So she's just gonna leave him there. And then,
are you still giving at least enough of a fuck to lick the wound close?
I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, she's not gonna leave a mess. She doesn't leave a mess when she's eating, unless she's frenzied.
Just making sure.
She has a napkin.
But she continues, like, she'll continue around the other alleyway, and as she comes out, she'll like pull the hood down and then let her hair out, and then just walk around into the front door of Lucky, not Lucky's, Alex's.
There's the little bell, the old kling kling. It's not even a motion beeper.
Does that
It's
go off if she chooses.
Well, it klings when you open the door, not when you go through. The door hits the bell, and you just hear Alex begin a well-rehearsed speech. Oh, hey, good evening. Welcome to... Oh, hi. Hey, Flory. Hi.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of late.
Mm-hmm. And she closes the door behind her as she and she's gonna flip the lock as she walks forward.
He doesn't seem to have noticed.
Nope.
So, anything I can do for you? You looking for something? I got
You
stuff.
lied to me, you little shit. I have had a very bad night. Now, usually, I would be much more calm and collected and allow you the opportunity to correct your misinformation, but I've had a really shitty night.
You see, he like starts to raise his hand. He's like, "Well, I thought."
She jumps the counter, and she's sitting on it with her legs sitting on the other side.
Hey, I didn't lie. I didn't say anything wrong.
Which
What
of
the
your
fuck?
little friends robbed the place and handed you this piece? You did not have a conversation with this true witness QC, which, by the way, having the postal code of where you're from in your handle is juvenile.
Out of game. I agree. Because you should see the amount. You can, on the internet, you can know who comes from Quebec because they all have fucking QC in their...
Out of game, I want you to know it took me until tonight to figure that out because I was thinking true witness quality control for some reason.
No, it's they all have QC, like XQC and all of that. Yeah, it's a thing that I've made fun of for all my life ever since the internet existed. But he goes, whoa. Wait. Wait.
One,
Okay, what do you want to know exactly?
two,
I didn't want to put my friend in trouble.
three. She'll reach out and grab his neck.
Whoa. Look, hey, lady, talk. No bite, just talk.
Alex, you seem to be under the impression that I'm a Sabbat. I'm not. I'm something worse. I'm a Ravnos who no longer gives a shit.
Okay, but the GM has a thing that he's frantically looking for because I had it right there last week.
Yes, I know. She's trying to do something. It's okay.
No. It's Simon needs to find he needs to say something, which I had noted down, and for some reason the line is no longer there in my document. I'm a little scared.
Go to a previous. Can you recover a previous save of the document?
No, it's on Legend Keeper, so it's all online. Because I had written exactly what had happened. Is it here? No. Please hold. Slight technical issues.
I'm just going to tell people in chat things about blood resonance while you're looking.
You can definitely tell them about blood resonance. I will need about 2.5 minutes.
So in 5e, there have been a lot of changes between the earlier editions and this one. And blood now has a humor. It can be choleric, melancholy, phlegmatic, or sanguine. And these are like the emotional resonances of that blood, and each of those resonances equate to different disciplines and hormones, elements, Jungian functions, right? And there's a difference between fleeting emotions or like regular or a dyscrasia. So if you're a person that really needs your victims to be scared so you can get a bonus there, and you just like scare them at that moment, that's only a fleeting feeling, which is not going to really flavor the blood that much. But if it's a person who's just like generally super sad all the time, then that'll be in their blood, and you can use that to like feel your disciplines.
I found it.
But some people have like a magical, really intense blood, and that will be a thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, found it. Sorry, it was I might have erased the it was supposed to be a new paragraph, and no, it was mixed up with the rest, but I got it. So I just didn't want to put Little Joe in trouble. A lot of people at the meeting would have probably eat him. You know, he didn't do anything wrong.
Name, address. Now.
Yeah. So he goes by Little Joe. That's how we all know him. Are you still holding him?
Oh yeah, and in about 3 seconds she's gonna activate Dread Gaze, and she's counting it in her head. He's
trying to like reach out for like a pad of paper next to his cash register.
She's not letting him go. She just can't maintain eye contact now.
He just blurts out his address. So it's in St. Henry. It's near Verdun. Kind of a few ways out of away from where you are tonight. It would probably be limit if you were to go there, and then you'd have to find somewhere to park for the day. But
she doesn't trust Alex to give away shit.
He gives the address, and then he says, I can tell you what happened.
Oh, Alex. Of course you're going to tell me what happened. And you're not going to lie to me. You want to know how I know?
Messing with minds and stuff, right?
Oh. I can do that. Or I could just package you to go. My Malzamati is always hungry at times.
I don't know who that is.
No,
but I've heard a lot of the old people here say the same thing. Just they gave different names. Yeah. Old kindred eat young kindred, eh? That's true.
It's frowned upon and not really liked. And you're such a little child that you haven't been taught. Ugh.
Yeah, it's just...
And she'll like reach around to like pull him like with her arm around his shoulder now.
Mhm.
And like entirely shifting her attitude. You could be halfway decent, but you need a teacher. And it's not going to be me.
Yeah, you said the same thing last night. You said you were my teacher, or that you would do it.
That's
Now
until you lied to me.
I had to.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, a kind's life is worth nothing. People would have just killed him. Like...
Oh, you
Like-
think that you have the right to protect the kind?
Someone's
That's a
got
breach.
to. Little Joe didn't do anything like that.
He is a breach, and a pathway to a breach.
He doesn't even know we exist.
He knows enough to give you that piece of little video.
He gave it to me because he needed cash. He didn't even know what was on it. Look,
But the witness with this whole story reached out to the friend of yours, a kind that you wish to protect.
No, he didn't reach out. So, Little Joe was rubbing a place, right? Because he needed... He always needs money. It's just... He's just bad with money. He doesn't... Anyway, he was robbing a place, and when he came out, he got face to face with... Well, probably true witness, the guy who gave him the DVD. Basically, the guy freaked out. He shoved the DVD in a pile of cash and like...
So, true
Pot.
witness gave your friend this DVD, and then it gets sold to you?
Yeah, little Joe.
He just handed it to him.
From what Joe told me, he like almost threw it
Remember
at
that
him.
conversation we had about how you can never trust your senses because I can twist your mind and have you think anything you want?
Yeah.
Why do you believe what little Joe said?
I don't know. Because... That's all. That's all.
We're gonna take a little ride. Don't pee yourself.
He kind of looks at his watch and he's like, we don't have a whole lot of time.
You do the way I drive. And she's literally gonna just pick him up and drop him, because she's not small, but she's sitting on the thing. That's the only reason she can do this. And drop him and then take him with her to the, she's like, see, I made a promise to give you an opportunity to be educated because some people care about educating the young. I think I should just put you in plastic wrap and ship you across the border and let my Zalmadi have a snack.
I would rather not.
Have you ever had the joy of experience of international travel when you're in torpor?
No.
It's not recommended.
Huh?
So, come along.
Where are we going?
And she just walks right out the door because she had to drive to his place from
You wouldn't have been able to walk. You would have been way too close to Sunrise.
Yeah, so that's what I said. So she had to drive. So she just shoves him in the passenger side of the Corvette. And she'll pay the tickets. Traffic laws don't really matter.
I would be surprised at how little cops there are at night.
Oh, that's right. You guys are in Quebec, in Montreal, and you don't have that problem with automated cameras.
There are a few.
Mm-hmm.
They're in very, very shitty places. As in places where, of course, you're going to be going faster than the speed limit because, for instance, you're going down a steep hill.
Yeah. So she has the remote to the garage still that that Artie gave her, and she's going to and she has that like, you remember the scene, the shots at the end of Interview with the Vampire, when Lestat is driving the
convertible with
with the journalist.
Yep.
It's that level of driving with Alex. And the music that's currently playing is to make it work, to go with Lestat, I think it needs to be the Kinks are playing through the speakers, and she is going to at times drift this Corvette around corners until she can come right, and she keeps up a conversation with Alex explaining exactly why the only reason she's not currently going to, and explaining what would happen. Like if she would be putting him through the industrial plastic wrapper that they use to ship the cars to protect them. And then of course, you have to make sure that you get a airtight and sealed wooden survivors. Oh, that's a very nice little thing. And she's just going to drift
around
the corner right into
his nails are digging into the like the
you
armrest.
Scratch that leather, you're going to clean it. Actually, I think that might be your first job after we get a conversation.
And then you drift onto the street, tire screeching, and he just points like it's a triplex. He's like, "That's right there."
Oh no, she's not going to
The Little Joe?
No.
Oh, sorry, I
Little
thought
Joe.
that's where you were going.
No, she's taking him back to Artie's.
Oh, okay, my bad. Then you get to Artie's.
And she's got the clicker for the garage.
Okay, that's why you were okay. Yeah, my bad. You get back to Artie's. Lucky is left. By the time you get here, though, it's pushing 4:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's okay.
Y'all can, well, it's okay, but in about an hour, you're going to fall unconscious.
I have industrial
sleep.
rope and there's a
Yeah, I'm just saying
trunk.
you won't have a whole lot of time for this next scene.
No.
Before the sunrise.
She's gonna just call out, "Oh wait, what languages does Artie speak?"
French, Italian, English.
You also have the Kant.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we do. We do have the thieves. We have the ravenous Kant. And you've hung out with her enough that you would recognize this.
Yeah.
And she go, so she would call out in the Ravnos Kant, is like, "I brought a guest. He's going to be sleeping in the trunk."
Get. Who is it?
Alex decided to lie to me again.
I just not again.
No,
It was the
he can't understand this.
Oh no, that's true.
Give me the keys. I'll deal with him.
Well, he's not sleeping in my trunk.
No. But just let me. We got sun up in an hour. Just let me deal with it.
All right. And then she'll just like walk out.
Yeah.
Like, "I'll see you tomorrow night." And she'll like look at Alex is like, and like walk up and like pat his face and do that little like very is like, "Shouldn't have lied to me, you little shit. I'm still thinking that you would do very well as an industrial package. My Zalmati loves getting presents." And then walks out to where the RV is, which is just a couple blocks from here.
When
So
Artie
she'll get there probably just in time to close the door.
Artie arrives, you leave. Artie comes in. Alex just looks at you, Artie, and says, "Hi. I will give you whatever you want if you make sure she doesn't feed me to her thing, that there's a basmati thing.
Alex, you're gonna come inside. We're gonna have a conversation. And it'll be the first of a long education, is what I'm thinking it's gonna be.
Okay, but, I'm not gonna wake up wrapped in plastic in some, like, shipping container.
I can't guarantee that, given the state you have created.
Wait.
However, I can try.
Arthur,
Yeah.
I can get shit. I can give you...
It don't matter.
I
You
can be
pissed off
useful.
Ravnos. You did something that no one in their right mind, Sabat, Camarilla, Anarch, does.
But I don't know what a Ravnos is.
We're going to have a conversation. Come inside.
He hurries inside. There's probably a little bit of blood in his pants. You have a very short amount of time.
Hey.
You notice, however, I'll say this, Arthur, you can feel the pull of the day sleep coming.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't seem to be as tired as you are.
He's not. He's thin.
That's why Flority was going to leave him tied up in the trunk.
Not gonna do that. Though I am willing to take the aggravated willpower damage to stay up. Okay, Alex. There's a number of things that you need to know and you need to know now. One, if the individual in question that you're interacting with is indeed kindred and is of Romani or Indian descent, as a safety precaution, do not piss them off. Do not lie to them. You look at them, eyes open, try not to blink too much, but whatever you do not fucking lie to them. And lies of omission count in this case.
Okay, but I didn't know, and also I was lying to all of you because you realize that, like, Yuma would have just torn my friend apart for no reason. He wouldn't even ask questions.
When kindred are gathered, your kind have the most protection that they're going to get. And if you lie to a gathering of kindred, all of a sudden that protection is null and void. That's another lesson that you need to learn.
Okay.
Okay?
I
can tell that this kind is important to you. I understand, and I respect that.
I mean, it's just...
But Alex, whoever your actual sire is, if I manage to track them down, I am actually going to go back on myself and play with them for about a week, just to undo all the fucking stress. Now,
there's just been so much shit going on in this city for years. Someone has to watch out for the little guy, you know?
I'm trying, Alex. Heaven knows I'm trying. This is why we're having this conversation right now. Because you can be an important part of this community. You already kind of are. But you desperately need an education. One that should have been provided to you by your sire, who has done a great disservice to you and this community, and right now, to me.
I am...
Find them, we're going to have a conversation.
I'm willing to be a very good student. I learn better with positive reinforcement than whatever Flory was trying to do. I'm just saying.
Reinforcement is a common tactic amongst kindred. I will note the positive reinforcement that you have said. However, I will tell you right now, lying to me, lying to someone who refers to themselves as a dragon or of the old country, is how you get negative reinforcement in ways your nightmares cannot conjure. Are we clear? Good. Also, you need to start investing in some body horror in your media consumption, because you're going to be dealing with that just being in this suit.
I've seen shit worse than some of the Hammer movies. Or like that one thing where they're like in Antarctica.
Oh, you sweet summer child. We need to get you an actual education. Oh, no.
There was a place where the walls were screaming people. And you can see in his face that he would have, he would have never, ever dug that memory back had Flory not freaked him out more than the Temple of Elemental Whispers, of Eternal Whispers. I was gonna say
that's some of me and mine. If you don't want to experience that again, you're going to be a very good student. All right, we clear? Cool. Now, looks at the windows. There's a number of things that are going to happen to them. One, I'm going to be doing both of us a favor and staying up longer than I want to. 1. 2, you're staying here today. Use your phone, make whatever fucking excuses you need to. You can use my phone. You are staying here today.
I mean, what kind of excuses would I do? It's not like I have a family. I mean, I have a store to take care of.
There might be kind who care about you. If you need to contact them, you do so.
Oh, yeah.
But I am going to educate you.
Everyone keeps saying that word.
I am doing this now. All right?
Okay.
This is a choice that is being made deliberately. I may regret it later. If I end up regretting it later, you're going to regret it so much worse. Are we clear? Good. Now, tomorrow night, when I wake up, you are going to tell me everything. Tell me everything in the most honest and clear detail.
Okay.
Because right now, there are kindred about who are playing with this city, who are playing with this community, and there is one particularly nasty one who is not only coming after me in their own way, they are coming after anything I care about. And right now, Alex, you've been put in the care about box. So if you want to survive, you need to listen. Now, things that I understand. Montreal was Sabbat. You had to lie to survive. I get it. But Montreal that we're going to be dealing with going forward, if they are tied to the tower, if they are tied to the Sabbat, you might be able to lie. You're not going to lie to the Anox. They usually can smell that shit. All right? And you're not going to lie to the Independents because they will smell that shit. And they're the ones that are going to go more likely off the handle in ways that the Sabbat wish they could imagine and participate in. All right? So, lying is going to go out the window. 2, when there's a gathering of kindred, if someone asks you a question, you are forthright. Because in that point and in that place, that means the community is dealing with an issue that threatens it. And if you have any hope of keeping anyone that you care about alive, you have to not lie. And there will be people who can tell if you can.
I've been told we're not supposed to say alive. That's Simon going a little meta.
That's another thing. We're going to put that
look,
off to the side. But
yeah,
here's the thing. Here's a nasty little secret I'm going to let you in on. every kindred cares about some kind. All right? It's how we keep the beast under wraps. All right? Now, you're thin blood. Your beast ain't as pronounced as some of your elders. And so we try, and as best we can, if you're not an absolute fucking monster, we keep the kind the kindred care about safe. Because it keeps those kindred and not fucking monsters. All right?
Yeah,
And
you're
that
really...
may involve keeping some kind that are god fucking awful alive. And that is something that you're going to have to get accustomed to.
Uh-huh. You don't talk like the other people like you. If I think I know the family, clan, yep, yeah.
I am Zamish. I am drunk.
Yeah, you're like saying everything they never said. Like the opposite.
That's because they were of a very particular type of the old country. One that I am very well versed in, but I got bored with that shit. That should tell you just how fucking dangerous I am, Alex. I got bored.
Wow. How old are you?
Enough. Now, that's another thing that you do not ask another kindred. Do not ask their age. Treat them like any woman that is nearing 40. All right?
Yeah, cool. And you see, like, he's laughing nervously.
Yeah.
He's still scared out of his mind.
If you are in my house and I am giving you sanctuary, you are safe. You are possibly in the safest place in all of Montreal right now. All right? Because if anybody wrongs you, they're wronging me. And if they're wronging me, they either have a death wish or they are the dumbest son of a bitch in this entire northern hemisphere. You clear? You're safe. This is part of the reason that you're going to stay here for a day. All right?
Yeah. Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
Before, the sun rises?
Mhm.
You keep any blood here? Because I think I remember you're...
Yeah. Can you handle the additives?
Can I handle the what?
Not everyone has the stomach for old blood, Alex.
Oh, no, I was checking if you had the blood. I'm not gonna drink any tonight. I'm good. I already ate.
Most kindred prefer fresh. There are only a few who have developed a
Yeah.
taste for the Capri Suns.
Yeah.
Another tip, and this is you getting back into your network and making yourself useful. You want to be indispensable. You make friends with a slaughterhouse, right? And you get as much animal blood as you can, that is as fresh as you can. That is going to help keep very specific kindred happy.
Sure. I also have another thing, but I'll talk to tell you about it tomorrow night, okay?
Yeah.
Because
now
it's like
there
sleepy
is
time.
a place that is nice and cushy. There's a bedroom upstairs. It's got TV, laptop in there.
Nice.
You just take it easy, all right? We're going to have a very thorough conversation tomorrow. There is going to be a flurry, and I need you to be at least baseline competent before that whirlwind of vengeance and terror arrives back on this doorstep. Now, I'm going to hand you a book. It is written in the handwriting that is god fucking awful. Take your time with it. It deals with some stuff from the old folks, but you need to have an education on what they were really about, especially their scholars, because the thing with the Sabbat is they are the roach of kindred kind. And as much as you think they are gone, they are not. And so, to be safe, you need to know the words. Here is an appended copy of an excerpt of the Book of Nod. Start reading.
That's the book everyone kept praising
Referencing.
before.
Yeah. Any Sabbat who calls themselves Sabbat, or more importantly, Sword of Cain, tries to get as much information as they can on this tiny little tome.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at how many counterfeit versions of that came through my store.
Oh, I bet them numbered in the thousands.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know what the hype is all about. It's like the Bible, but for vampires.
Alex, you hit the nail on the head. Now just think of how the kind are about the Bible.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah. And about 50% of all kindred are fanatics about the Book of Nod. Start reading.
Okay.
Have a good day, Alex. I'll see you in the evening.
Yeah, I'll probably catch some Z's first.
Do that. And if you're hungry, there is some actual food in the fridge. All right? Just clean up after yourself.
I don't eat food, but okay.
Sometimes there are kindred who just do. Sometimes there are kindred who really enjoy it. And so I always make certain to keep something in the fridge.
Okay.
Get some rest, Alex. See you in the morning.
Good night. And with that, we're going to take a short break as the sun rises above Montreal. And our 3 vampires fall into torpor for the day.
This guy
Alex. In an upstairs room, there's an Alex pacing back and forth. It's about 7 a.m. He got kind of bored reading the Book of Nod. He falls asleep for a couple of hours. Then around noon, he gets up, he wanders the house. He goes into Arthur's fridge, grabs himself a bag. And then he looks through Arthur's cupboards. Would you happen to have like a, just to pass as a human, but like a thermos or something? Anything that could be like carried as a container.
Oh, there's camping gear, because you're in Canada. If you don't have camping gear, you're not human.
So he's gonna take a small canteen, but a small one, like a water bottle, basically. And with the water bottle in hand, he rips a bag of blood, and he starts just squeezing it down his throat as he gargles. Y'all are asleep, you don't really hear it. And you don't see that the blood inside his throat changes from deep crimson to bright red, almost pink. He pukes it back into the water bottle after about 3 hours. And we're gonna go on a break with that 6 successes. We'll be right back, everyone. Grab yourself something to drink. Maybe gargle some blood. And we'll be right back. Hello, we're back. So, night falls on Montreal again.
Mm.
The undead need to rise from their day sleep. That means y'all are gonna have to make a rouse check.
I'm really good at that.
Only if we choose to use Blush of Life.
I think you have just to wake up. You have
No,
to.
just to wake up.
Oh, okay.
Waking up every night is a ruse check.
I have succeeded.
Oh, I failed. She's still bitchy.
I have succeeded.
But less than yesterday. Mind you, oh no, it's not a discipline rouse check. Yeah.
No.
I
So
almost never succeed these. I've been failing so many rouse checks, but finally I have gotten it. So that's something.
you can wake up properly. But I mean,
Yeah.
granted, Flory, you didn't go to bed. Like, you know when they say don't go to bed angry?
No, yeah, she went to bed angry.
Yeah, it's... And
She-
so...
She takes the time where she's like laying in the to wake up in the RV, and she like pulls out the other phone, the actual burner phone for her Zalmati, and texts him as like, I want credit for not shipping you a little shithead express.
You noticed that your message from yesterday
Yeah.
that you had sent was seen,
Oh well, that's
but
okay.
he hasn't answered yet. Which, I mean, happens. It's not
Yeah.
like someone as old as Almighty, while he knows how to use a phone, has spent a major part of his life with where the fastest method of communication was snail mail.
And she still laughs at the fact that she gets better, that she is. Doing math in my head. She is almost 50 years older than he is, and she still gets technology better than he does. No, wait, hold on. 30 years. Sorry. Yes, 30 years. I did math wrong.
So as you're going to lounge in the RV for a little bit.
Yeah, just, that wake up, check your phone. You don't actually have to do anything yet, and you want to, like, smolder in the mad for a bit before you have to go deal with people.
It's called a Monday morning.
Yep, pretty much.
Lucky you wake up not at Arthur's place. At
No,
your
of
own
course, I wake up
home.
at home. And I always wake up. I don't stay in bed because I've got work to do.
Mhm.
Like I've got work to do.
You got those hockey players to train.
I've got hockey players. I've got to go and like have my meal with my family, with my mom, etc. Which is mostly them eating and me sort of sitting and just hearing about their day. It's sort of like we have a whole.
It's a ritual.
It's a ritual. And then I've got to go to work. I've got to go and train some hockey players how to be better hockey players because they're so young and they don't always know what it's about, So I'm there like to build community and teach them how to play hockey. We've got practice for like an hour or two before I go off to see what is up with those chuckleheads. Yeah, but it's a thing he does every day that he's always done, where he goes and he wakes up, he has time with the family, and then he goes and he meets the community and he teaches them how to play hockey and gives them tips and spends time on the ice, practicing and training them, and walks through his neighborhood, right? It's a thing he does all the time because he's there to take care of his neighborhood.
Yeah, and you've been through a lot lately. The team, practice today was uneventful to the point where it was almost boring. They're going through the routine, through the motion, but it feels like they're due for an actual game at some point. Because right now you can feel it just weigh on them that sure, they're They're practicing their shots. They're making the goalie sweat. But they know that there's no stake to it. And it's starting to show. Compare that to your stakes lately. But yes, you want to phone a friend?
Well, I need to phone a rival, another local team. We should set up a friendly. Is what we should do. So they have some kind of stakes.
Well, speaking of stakes, can you just give me charisma persuasion?
Sure.
As you make a couple phone calls.
Yes. May I add my either fame or influence? Probably influence.
It would be influence.
So
yeah, because your fame isn't. You're not famous with the kind.
Yes, I am.
You are. What's your source of
I
fame again?
I don't have fame with Kindred. The Kindred don't even like
No, they're
me.
all suspicious of you. Well,
Yeah,
all
they don't like me.
Yeah.
Basically, I have fame that's connected to my community. There's a difference between like knowing you and also having influence. Like not only do they know me, but they also
in this case, knowing that the theme of your fame would not help you get
it'd be my influence,
more people. It would be more the influence because right now you are more or less as sad as it can be. You're like the token all-black hockey team.
Yeah. And yes, I also feel like I'm slightly mythic in some kind of weird old school way that Kindred don't know anything about when they don't need to know about it. You said persuasion and charisma? Yeah. And I will add 1 die for my influence. Difficulty
2.
1 success.
Do you want to reroll? I can tell you what's going on. Basically, at 1 success, you will get a team. You're gonna have to pull teeth to get them to come.
Yeah.
It's going to take more effort and more time out of you than just 1 or 2 phone calls.
Yeah, which means I would probably be a little bit later to meet the rest of the group.
It means that not necessarily for our session, but you're gonna have to, follow up in a couple of nights again and again and again.
Yeah.
For something that, like, the result might not be worth the effort necessarily, as it stands right now.
I'll spend a willpower and re-roll those 3 of them because it's important. These things are important. Let's call this a re-roll, and then I get 3. Another 1. So yes, I got the 2.
All right.
2.
So with 2 successes, not only do you get a team, but that team is also going to talk to another team. And so you'll end up having this almost entire day where, because, they're not necessarily going to play from 9 at night to 9 in the morning.
No.
But they're willing to, 2 of them are actually willing to, one of the team is kind of in the similar situation as you. And the other team, so there's quick names.
I'm thinking like a nice early morning game, right? And then a really late night game.
There's a team called Les Charrues, which is like the snow plows. Their coach is in the same situation as you. Like, he needs something to motivate them.
I have a question.
Yes?
Is it, our dead friend, the one that I ate a lot. He went to school with this Steve, but he's in a CJEP right now, which means Steve would probably be around the same age. And I know what high school he went to. If you're going to go, I imagine Steve, being a conspiracy theorist, is probably not, he might have stayed local, especially since he's here. Is there from that school, would I know what kind of CJEPs or schools, probably more CJEP than university at that moment, that they feed into? Do you know what I mean? Is there a place that's more likely that guy Steve would have gone to than another place?
It really depends on whether, because CJEP is for most people 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
When you're not just skipping classes all the time.
Yeah.
2 to 3 years means that if Steve was a friend of Zeke in high school, there is no telling which CJEP he has gone to now, because they're basically, most of the CJEP across the province are all on Montreal. So if you're local, you can choose one among more than dozens, several dozens. Whereas if he knew him in CJEP, then he's probably still attending the same place. Because it's rare that, unless something happens, that you're going to start a degree at one CJEP and then switch to another one. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, and sometimes a program is, when you know that this CJEP has a reputation for that type of program, you're not going to try to go away to another one to keep the same program.
I'd like to just try to see if I could get a match with the students, the hockey team from Zeke's CJEP as the second team, because they probably need practice and just get us around.
To just answer very quickly, Malkadoshin, out of game, it's actually a playlist on YouTube. If you have an account with Epidemic Sound, you can get all of these songs. They're all copyright free.
On YouTube?
Well, the list is on YouTube because it's World of Darkness. It's Outstar that created it. But also, so yes, it sounds like Bloodline because she went and took songs that are like beats to play Vampire to. There are 3 soundtracks, a lo-fi, the one we're using, and an Anarch dive bar soundtrack. And then to top it off, we also have 3 tracks from the Vampire the Masquerade chapters official soundtrack. That is unavailable for now. I have the rights to use them because, that's where I work. But yes, I have the rights, and then eventually other people will be able to use it when they play the game.
Cool.
That said, we can change one of the 2 teams.
So think, just because there is this Steve out there, and you never know. Somebody might know somebody. At least if we get the players playing with each other, that might give us something, or at least a little start.
They actually do not have a hockey team at this. Oddly enough, they are a big football, both European and American.
Isn't there a Canadian football?
I mean, yes, it's Canadian football, technically. That's only because our ball is bigger.
I heard that about Canadians.
But yes, they have a lot of that, and they have volleyball and basketball. Actually, they have all the sports that have the word ball in it, but no pucks.
All right. Okay. I was just checking out to see if it was there.
So, yeah, no, unfortunately. It's one of the rare places.
What is this? American football. I'll just note it. Again, because I know that there's some people that are in an age range, and this is convenient. If I can, maybe try to get somebody in the same neighborhood, right? That Zeke grew up in. If there's a team that I can sort of rouse stuff that's in that neighborhood. I'm just trying to get people who are in the same location, and you never know what connections might come up. Since Zeke's neighborhood is a little bit south of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like if I could get a team from his neighborhood, that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, the second team, the Patriots, are, and in this case, the Patriots are not the same as the football team from the NFL. It's often tied to the Patriots up here in Quebec that fought the British. So it's basically people with multicolored sashes and red toques.
Oh, nice. All
That's
right.
our freedom fighters, and they won 0 battles.
But they might have won in their hearts. You know what I mean?
No, they did
got
not.
their butt kicked by Benedict Arnold.
No. That's way later than Benedict Arnold.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what we were talking about.
No.
Because that also happens.
No, you see, our Patriots here, what happened is the British didn't want a second American Revolution. So the moment someone said, I don't like the crown, they nipped that shit in the bud with what amounts to massacres.
Wow.
And by then, we had lost basically, any Native American alliances that we would have, because it's like in 1860 something. The Americans did give us a lot of muskets and weapons, but no one actually trained anyone. So it was basically, we would have needed a sort of like George Washington to like whip people into shape, but that didn't happen.
We're really a Lafayette, really.
Yeah, but then the British were like, let's just send infinite troops until the problem is resolved.
Ooh.
And that
Ooh.
is how my great-great-grandfather came to the country.
Oh.
He was a dragoon from the Scottish Highlands.
Huh.
Yep.
Huh.
But enough about me. How about you?
I will know that this is now. Lucky doesn't think this is like a sure thing, but he's like, if my athletes are talking to athletes from that neighborhood, you don't know. Like, they'll talk, maybe they'll party. It's just like it's a way to get people from that space in a space that he can observe without it being at all suspicious. And like, it may come to nothing, but it might come to one thing that leads to another thing.
I mean, you'll have, about 60 kids.
Yeah.
60 youths in the same place. Maybe some of them might know Steve.
Or know somebody who might know Steve.
Or know somebody, or maybe one of them, those DVDs, they've begun to circulate, so maybe.
Yeah.
The kind of smut snuff stuff that, a hockey player might want to show the rest of his team.
Yeah.
Like, look at how sick this is. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, there's some youth stuff going on, and rather than just wandering around, this also will help my team, but also might get me access to rumors or,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That said, do you feed on your herd today?
No, I'm fine.
You're fine. Okay.
Yeah, I murdered somebody
true,
last night, so
Yeah.
I'm feeling great.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't have any hunger at all. None. Zero. My beast is very calm.
So
My gift.
I'll move back to Arthur's place. Lucky, if you intend to make your way to Arthur, let me know. I will let you know when you arrive. But
he's
otherwise,
gonna be working a bit, and then he'll come in a little bit.
That's it. Yeah. So we're gonna pan across the island back to Little Italy, and Arthur wakes up to the sound of TV playing. Someone's watching Storage Wars.
You would think it's not my place to judge.
You would think for someone as Alex, this counts as like business research. It counts as,
if that's
it counts
the case, he's got more problems than I thought. But I get up, Again, this is a smart house. Sammy, something's gotta give. And Sammy Davis Jr., something's gotta give from the deck of years, begins playing, at least in Arthur's bedroom as he gets himself.
Would you say the song is hearable from elsewhere? Is it loud enough that, let's say, Alex could hear it?
If he leaves the couch and goes into the hallway, yeah.
Then a few moments after you've started Sammy Davis Jr., you hear the TV turn off.
Walk out. Good evening.
Alex is exactly where you left him. Except he's fiddling with one of your water bottles.
So, time to continue in education before the tornado known as Flory decides to arrive.
I started reading your Book of Nod, your version of the Book of Nod.
Well, it's an excerpt.
Yeah, it's not the whole thing, but it reminded me.
Oh, hell no.
No, I don't think there ever was a real thing here, but I remember there was this guy who came in like about 20 years ago, made a big fuss about it, left with the book, left with one of the books. The big honcho in charge. I was very young at the time. I don't know exactly what happened, but apparently people were pissed and heads rolled for a book.
There's a very particular term I'm going to use right now that in polite company you're not going to use.
Shit,
but polite is.
Have I said something wrong?
No. Is the head honcho that you referred to a bishop or archbishop?
Oh no, he went by cardinal.
Oh, kid, you got lucky.
I never met him. Apparently, he had like a campy face tattoo.
There is a look of like
you know who he's talking about.
The deepening look of terror. Just you got damn lucky.
He was running the whole show here. It was horrible. But you see that he's less traumatized. Maybe because he's never met Strathcona. Or perhaps it's only because he was in proximity to the Cardinal for years that at some point it just became less of a legend for him. But anyway, I never kept track of these things, but yeah, most of what's in your book, and he puts it back on the table, most of what's in your book, I've heard about before.
Good.
So, like, I might need like a couple more weeks, days, nights. Wow, Simon's tired. Need a couple more nights. It's not a Cthulhu book to read.
Again, get familiar with it, because whether you want to or not, that book is now part of your existence. And there will be those that on any side of the fence are going to be seeking its lore, legitimate copies, etc., etc., etc.
You'd think I could make a fortune selling fake copies of it.
No, you get yourself bagged, tagged, and drained. You do that.
Okay, I'm not gonna do it then.
Yeah, no, there's something that those people that deal in the falsities, back in my Miami days, we would use the silly straw in dealing with them. Particularly fun-looking steak that had a bunch of holes in it. Whoever got to the bottom first won.
Huh. glad I didn't live in Florida.
Oh, kid, you wouldn't have survived Florida.
Do you know if Florey's a early or a late riser? Because I got he's fiddling with the water bottle as he talks. He's like, I felt bad and I got something for her for like last night.
She's an early riser, and if she's not here, that means she is using her considerate willpower to keep herself in check, which means that you have hope.
I have an offering. I don't know
Do
if
not
they
use
like
that
that.
term with Aravnos. That means different things to them.
I have a gift, I guess.
Gift is good. Gift is good.
Peace offering?
Offering is only something that we use with the Sabbat. We use gifts with everybody else.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's like the reverse of a boon, like a prestation. I'm giving something away.
Yes. Like, one, going to try and keep Montreal boon free, because that is going to cause no trouble.
I mean, that's the whole currency now. I've got a list of people that owe me shit.
You got a list of people who think of shit. Without authority, those things are practically worthless.
No, Valois been pretty good with it.
Valois is a very particular class of individual.
Yeah.
And trust me, those boons are good until they're not. And when they're not, you need to leave.
Well, so far, it's been... I mean, it's not like either of us owes the other one their own lives or whatever, but it's nice to, like, sometimes I can get stuff, and then he asks for stuff, and I get it for him.
Barter is better than boon.
Yeah, it's just all the old ones keep calling that boon, 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 and prestations all the time.
Yeah. That's the Camarilla, that's the Ivory Tower, and the Ivory Tower brings with it more problems and questions than any of us can handle. And right now, due to the fact that Europe's on fire, they have their own problems, and it is a delightful time to try something new, or in my case, something old. And we are going to get into that further in your education.
Okay.
There's something that you should do in your pastime, especially if you can get some. Well, if you are curious enough to use a boon with Valois, inquire about Constantinople, the Kindred War.
Simon's gonna take a note. Okay, but
there's also going to be a very interesting character named Michael you might want to research.
Except, the way I take it, you want me to ask Valois about it, but then you want me to tell you, right?
No. This is for your own personal education.
Oh, okay, because you know about it.
I do. It is a passion project. It's part of the reason I'm here.
Okay. I can ask him.
Look,
I mean, I can ask you too.
there was a time before the Tower, before Anarchs, before the Sword of Cain, where, as some would like to refer to it, the Dark Ages, where there were high clans, there were low clans, there was a lot of messiness about, and this was pre-Inquisition. Now,
You're
in
throwing
the
a
good old
lot of
days,
words I don't understand.
you'll learn. But back in time after Carthage fell, Constantinople, 3 kindreds of different clans conspired together to make one of their dreams come alive. and that was a attempt at having a kindred city that was a place of learning, place of community, where instead of kindred trying to top one another, or there were lines of very specific delineation where we acted like beasts, still plagues us to this very day. We were closer to what we should be. Instead of animals, we are. We are more than human, and we are the betters of ourselves.
If Flory
Lost
wants
for
to,
kings, if it were.
Yeah, if Flory wants to come in, that would be an appropriate moment.
So, Flory came in through the parking garage, and she's pretty sure that Rajulamal has a security system that he knew when the door opened, and
Oh, there was a little red light that turned on.
Yeah. She didn't even try to avoid your security system. She respects you. She could have, but she didn't. And so as she comes in, you can hear her whistling.
House, cut the music.
And it's Coolio C when you get here. As she starts coming in. It's appropriate.
Oh, it's the Coolio. Brace yourself, kid.
That guy's gonna live forever. Give me a sec.
So she'll come in and, wherever they are, she'll just she looks very casual, but her hair is still done the same way in the braid with the headband and hairpiece. But wearing that black athletic kind of look, and she just kind of sits, doesn't sit, just kind of perches on the arm of the couch with her shoulder resting on the back of the couch seat, and she looks and goes, "So how's his education going?"
Is in the early stages.
Oh, hey, good evening.
He has a gift for you.
Gift? How nice.
It sloshes inside when he shakes it.
She raises an eyebrow.
It's because, yeah, I should have, I get it now that I should have maybe said the whole thing the first night, and Arthur explained that it made you mad. But so you don't wrap me up in plastic and send me somewhere, I want to prove my usefulness, so I made you this. And he hands the bottle.
She will take it, not open it. It's not about proving useful, Alexei. Useful gets you used. And she'll set it down. Trustworthy is different than useful.
Yeah, that wasn't the same a couple years ago.
Life is different, and even if I was here a couple years ago, it would have been very different with me. You don't lie to one of my kind.
Then
Even the Sabbat don't lie to me.
Yeah, we don't.
See.
So.
Yeah.
I see you weren't tied up last night.
Positive reinforcement, Flory. Positive reinforcement.
Did you call your little friend and warn him that he's going to get a visit?
No, because I don't know exactly what you want.
I'm just going to talk to him.
Yeah.
Who are we talking to?
But I thought you wanted the whole story from me first. I don't know.
Oh, well,
I
trust
thought that's
but
why you had
verify.
brought me here, so I couldn't
Oh, no, I
run
brought-
away and tell you the
Oh.
whole thing.
that, but also to make sure you didn't warn him that I was coming.
Who
Oh,
are we talking to, Flory?
Oh, the person who actually had the conversation with True Witness QC. His little friend, his little kind friend that he decided to lie to everybody to protect in the middle of a meeting.
I went over that. He's been informed. But at the same time, one of the things that we discussed is that all of us kindred have kind that are important to us, and we do our best not to make sure that they live.
I didn't say I was going to kill him. I just said I was going to talk to him.
I could
You
just.
are in a very particular mood, Flory. That is very clear.
I mean, if you promise not to hurt him, I can just call him over.
He should not come here.
No,
He's
but
not
I
going
mean
to come
to a
here.
place that doesn't look like some vampire haven.
If you want to set up a meeting, I would suggest doing so. Flory, I will pay you extra. Go light on this one.
It wouldn't be playing with fire, Flory, if you were to accept that easily.
No, she's not. You like see that look and she goes, I'll think about it.
So, yes,
No,
Alex.
it doesn't really feel like it. But here's what's going to happen, Rajul. I'll offer you a counter offer.
Mm-hmm.
He will live.
There is a lot of wiggle room in the term live. We both know that.
Not physically damaged enough to require immediate medical attention.
Remember, you're talking to me. Remember Joey Peeps. I made that man a living puddle.
Yeah. But again, I'm not going to play with him like that. I did promise Alex that I would not kill his little friend. But you can have a conversation with Alex about how perhaps turning his little friend would not be the best idea for him.
Oh, good.
So,
Who's turning what? What's turning?
well, that's a conversation. Usually when you're this invested in the kind, it's because you're feeling a little... What's the word I'm looking for? Paternalistic?
Oh,
something behind
no.
you?
No, I think you've got it all wrong.
Really?
Yeah, he's not some kind of, person I have an eye on and I want to turn... I don't know, the people used to say to change. I don't want to embrace him. It's just... Well, I told Arthur last night. Yuma is liable to just tear him a new one for no reason, and he wouldn't have asked any questions, and then little Joe would be dead for no reason other than I blurted out his name. So, yeah, no, I just don't want people to die needlessly. There's been decades of needless death in this city. I don't like that one bit.
With the change, and to a degree, understanding the Anarchs as predatory as Yuma may present, the Anarchs appreciate that there are kind that are important to kindred. And usually those that overstep end up staked. when it comes to the animals. They are very good at policing their own until they're not.
I would
Okay.
also like to point out, Alex, that Yuma and I have done business before.
I didn't know that.
Mm, you didn't ask.
Well,
And I was brought in as a professional, right?
Yes.
yeah, you're supposed to all, like, make this true witness disappear.
No, I'm supposed to fix the problem. I will also kill true witness that's hired to do a murder. That's a secondary factor. But I'm hired to solve a problem, really. And
Yes.
if you lie to me, it takes me longer to solve the problem, and then I get a little antsy and a little frustrated and a little upset.
Well, I mean,
Also costs more.
the details I gave are just I it's like when they say on TV shows, like, change the names of the people to protect the witnesses or whatever.
You're not the witness, he is, and you can't protect jack shit.
And do not use Law and Order as a good example of anything.
Except for longevity in TV producing.
Sure.
It's still running.
Unfortunately.
The guy that
You
makes
didn't
it's called
invest in
Dick.
that one early?
I am
Boy.
not a fan of propaganda.
No, but Dick Wolf totally had to invest in that name purely for the name alone. And the doink doink.
Anyway, TV aside, yeah. It's just as mundane as what I told you, Flory, last night. It's Little Joe was robbing a place, and he spooked the guy that was coming into the place. And the guy just shoved a bunch of stuff in Little Joe's hands, and he ran away. Well, Little Joe thinks that it's because, well, he spooked the guy, so the guy was just, I don't know, thought maybe he was getting mugged or something. And he left, and then Little Joe brought me his stuff, because he was like, hey, I don't give a shit. And then I looked, like, to see what was worth anything. I mean, it's a DVD. Could have been just a, I don't know,
You were thinking it was a
recording
sex
of.
tape.
I would have hoped it was a sex tape, then that could sell.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Don't get involved in sex tapes. They never sell as well as you think they do.
put it in, and then, well, then there's the encryption, and that's when I thought that must be something worth selling, because, you know, you don't encrypt just any sex tape, you know. Found a way. Melvin helped me a bit, and then yeah, we saw that thing. So that's sort of what started it all.
So wait, just Melvin.
Yeah, like I'm good with computers, but I'm not. I'm
Who's
not
Melvin?
Melvin Crossman. You saw it, the black guy with the dreads. He was putting up the laptop and the
Oh,
projector
okay, because
Who's at
he's
the
the other
not.
night.
Where is he?
Yeah, Melvin Crossman is in Le Legend Keeper. You will find him under the Independence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
tied to
oh,
Lucky.
okay. It popped for a second and then disappeared. Sorry. Legend Keeper did a flick on me. It was like, who is this? I was like, I thought he was an independent, but I was like, I couldn't find him, so I. Oh, right. Malkavian, right?
I don't. Never heard him refer to himself as such. I know that other people have said that he was touched in the head.
Well,
They used less gentle terms.
Yeah. That'll happen a lot. That tells you a little bit about Kindred, but the Clan of the Broken Mirror is one, always to be feared, and two, never to be fucked with. If you think I'm scary, You have no idea.
They're really nice, though. I like playing with them.
Yeah. Well, I think you would like Melvin, Arthur, because he's all about like the nod and all that. He really digs that.
We have an artist. Good to know. I should probably pay him a visit.
Yeah.
Okay, he is
However-
definitely falling below my list of people that I want to hang out with.
Alex, that story don't hold a bucket of water.
Oh, I told him it was entirely that it was entirely a lie, so he's gonna stay here while I go get his little friend.
No. Set up a meeting. All right.
Mm,
do-
Sure.
I've got a distinctive feeling, Lori, between this not holding water and that tape being a thing, that our good little thief may be being surveilled.
Alex lifts his eye up from his phone. He's like, where do I tell him to meet?
Someplace with good eye lines, probably one of the parks.
I know. God, you're gonna love this, Simon. So it's on our map.
Uh-huh.
And I remember we talked about this. I need to pull up the map of Montreal, right? Where is it? It's
For top page, VtM World of Darkness, and then second tab.
yeah. So it's that's where Silvio's is. It's the isn't there like the like plaza, the public square that's down the street from Little Italy that has the cathedral near it?
No, what you're the plaza you're talking about, Dorchester Square, is closer to downtown. It's actually not on the map at the moment.
Okay.
It's because I've shown you guys through Google Map, but it would basically be very close to the Hunter's Green.
Which is
downtown.
Downtown.
Okay.
Yeah. It's downtown. The place you're looking for.
Cool. Because this is Flory and her give a fuck is currently broken and she is in Daredevil mode. Oh no. Tell him to go to Dorchester Square.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I have a dress for this.
Anyway, kind don't really understand what Dorchester Square means, so whatever.
That's okay.
He types the stuff. And he's like, yeah, that's
Looking straight at Flory, like wide-eyed. Be very careful.
No, I'm not going to fuck with the church. Don't worry.
No, it's not just the church. Again, I have this little inkling in the back of my head that our thief is being surveilled.
Of course. That's why I'm asking him to come to there. And I figure I have this beautiful little black dress number. You know. I picked it up in Paris, you know. You know the one.
I know the one.
It would look great in the Hunter's Green, wouldn't you think?
Very careful.
I'm not going to make a mess in your place.
No, not worried about that. But I am worried about, because if you're doing this in Dorchester, it's going to be more than just his tail that might be there.
I know. I want to see who's telling whom.
Anyway,
What?
he's gonna be there in a half hour. He's already in downtown.
Okay, good.
I told him you were looking into the guy that he bumped into, and you have questions for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him you're not cops.
Oh, I will totally not be dressed like a cop.
No. My question is, Flora, do you want company or do you want to do this solo?
I mean, I'm always glad for company. We could make this an educational moment for Alex. Field trips are important.
I don't think this field trip's going to be a pleasant one.
He could stay behind then. As long as he doesn't lie to me anymore.
I mean, I do have stuff to do, but so long as you promise me you're not going to kill little Joe.
No, I'm not going to kill him at all.
The whole
She
point
says
was...
she's not going to kill him. She's not going to kill him.
Okay.
That's the good news.
Look, he's kind of high all the time, but he's not a bad dude.
Oh, fuck. He's fine.
Yeah. With a name like Little Joe, what did you expect?
It was a comment about his penis.
I'm sorry. I came through in a older time, so monikers have much different connotations.
Yeah,
than
no,
you think.
he's basically like way into he thinks he's gonna strike it big with his music videos, but don't tell him I told you that. His music sucks, and every time he brings me a CD, I just throw it out. The guy can't rhyme for shit.
That just means that he's a bad songwriter. There's plenty of people whose music doesn't suck who weren't great songwriters. I would like to point to you half everybody who recorded before 1967.
He basically wants to beat the new Loco Locas, but he's he thinks that being high gives you creativity, but in his case it just, I don't know, it doesn't work. Anyway, he's a little eccentric, right? But that's not a reason to kill him.
No, I'm just thinking he's going to have, if he fucks up, a very bad time. Let's not have another London, please.
Okay, the last time we were in London was not A, not our fault, B, not our fault, and C...
I do not need Little Joe in a sanitarium.
And as you reminisce on London, let's just move to Lucky for a moment, who had a detour to make before showing up at Arthur.
I did. Now, I'm not even quite certain if Arthur needs me around. I knew he was going to go and do some errands of his own, so I don't know what everybody's doing exactly. But I wanted to go and take a bit of a mosey.
Where do you want to mosey on?
There was a video, highly encrypted, and I would like to go to the location where that video was recorded. And I want to stand where the person was who recorded it. It's out in public, on the street.
No. You're talking about the video with the Nosferatu getting blown up.
Yeah, right there in the middle of the city everywhere.
No, that was in the Temple of Eternal Whispers, a location that no one knows where it is now.
Well, because you said that there was like Hattie on the street, right? And
no, she was in the corner of a corridor, just off. So it's filmed from within a room, and there's like a door leading out, and she's hiding in the doorway.
So it was not on the street.
No.
It
was underground in what looks like an old medieval dungeon. Sorry for the mix-up.
I thought it was like an alley.
No.
Do we know where that was? Is that like a thing that people who
the
are
three of you
know?
Alex, being a survivor of the Sabbat, even him probably has never been there. Otherwise, he would not be there to tell the tale, because, during the Night of Ashes, the Inquisition blew up the entire cathedral, the underground temple. So anyone who was in the temple died.
That's on the island, right?
It's somewhere in Montreal, yes. You would have to make... I mean, I'm not saying that it is impossible for you to find it, but it is impossible for you to just get up tonight and go to that place since you have no idea where it is and what the entrances are or where the entrances are.
I'm gonna go find Melvin and ask him.
Yeah, Melvin is oh, where's his
I thought it was on
dorm?
the street, so if it was on the street, I was gonna go and just check out the sight lines. But since it's not on the street,
No, that's it.
I'll ask Melvin.
Melvin lives in a condo downtown. It's like not downtown, like on the edge of downtown, near where the Plateau Mont-Royal would start. So basically, leave the really rich gentrified area, go into what we would have like the newly gentrified Bohemia. You're just like that one street that separates the two. So it's expensive, but it's not quite good looking yet as a place.
Yes, yeah.
Neither modern nor quaint.
That makes sense. Yeah, and I'm gonna go and wherever, like, I know that I speak to Melvin fairly frequently. We contact each other. So if there's like a place where he normally is in this sort of like early evening.
For all you know, he never leaves this place.
Yeah. Well, then I will go and hit him up.
Like, he probably does, because, you know, as with everyone, you know, one needs to feed.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that he's, you know, always out on the prowl.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna go and hit him up.
Yeah, he's at his place tonight. I mean, you ring the doorbell. You just hear a voice immediately reply, Didn't order no DoorDash.
I know, it's me, Lucky.
Oh, hey, come on, man.
I'm gonna come in and give him a... What is he like? Like, is there a thing that if I could visit him, I'd bring him something? Not dead bodies, of course.
Melvin is a oh, what is that? No, my bad. Okay, let's go. Melvin's a very, like a dichotomy. He's a very austere person in the sense that as a kindred, he rarely needs much to go on. However, his place is full of stuff he's klept over the years. It's almost like a challenge for him to go somewhere that he's not supposed to be, get a memento out, and sometimes the mementos are worth an enormous amount of money, but he doesn't keep it for the wealth. He doesn't keep it for, unless he absolutely needs it for some reason. His only real expensive possession is his entire computer getup, and it's the type to have 5 monitors, like a couple of towers. There's a Bitcoin farm, but just a small one, because you need Bitcoin if you want to buy stuff illegally on the black markets, on the darknet. So one needs to be able to have that, and also decrypting the algorithm necessary to like mine a Bitcoin is something that he also does in his free time for fun. Because as a Malkavian, sometimes he sees the answers to those equations.
Yeah.
You find him... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I would imagine what I would probably do is... I've been to some of these places. I think I would give him a bit of a coin, like a poker chip, like one of those sort of coins you'd get from like one of the casinos. It's like it's not a real coin that you'd spend, but like, you know, like when you go to like a one of those arcades that'll have like the skee ball, and you'll get those little coins that are like, they're not.
Fun fact: this is something that is almost unheard of here.
Oh, Well, then I think he might like it.
It took years for us to get something that resembled like Chuck E. Cheese. Now there's a couple more. But yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
Has David Buster's entered the environment yet?
Not even. Not here.
And it's not worth a lot of money, but it's like a Bitcoin, and he thought that would be funny, right? So he's like,
yeah.
He's like, Melvin, I got a Bitcoin for you. And I like, flick it over to him.
He grabs it, flips it in his fingers, and he's like, this would actually have been worth a lot of money in the hands of a certain person. It's a shame, though, and he puts it on his desk. He's like, they got hit by a car 2 nights ago.
Oh, who?
Nah. They're dead.
Okay. Hey, I want to ask you a question. We're investigating all of that business, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, some people are, some people aren't. Just about that video. I want to know I want to go see where it was filmed. Not the new one, but the old one, the encrypted one. You decrypted it. You probably have a copy.
Yeah, but man, you're asking the impossible.
Why?
The place, it doesn't exist.
But there's a place where it used to be, right?
Oh, yeah. Here, let me show you. And he opens up a Google map very quickly, zooms in exactly on Dorchester Square.
Huh.
Yeah. The entrance used to be in there, and then he points to like a street off of Dorchester Square. There's like a weird there's this alleyway between it's an alleyway between buildings, right? But there's like a little nook in that alleyway where you have like 2 steps, concrete steps, and it leads to a door. It's like if it was the entrance door to an apartment where the entrance gives onto the alley instead of on the street, which is something that is very rare here. I've seen it a lot in places like Philadelphia, but here is not something that has caught on, really. So it kind of stands out. And of course, the Google Map image dates back a couple of years.
Yeah.
But he said that was also another entrance. That entire building, and he circles it with his finger on his monitor. That's a parking lot now.
Are there any entrances still up?
I didn't live here back then, but he starts typing I
traveled, I visited, but I didn't hang out in those circles.
Yeah, you didn't want to come here anyway. And he starts like searching files on his computer and all that, and he's like, I have a old kind of map that someone tried to make of it. The thing is and he brings it up, and it's an underground complex, all right. Let me just, because the thing is, it actually exists as a map.
Oh.
I just need to have the proper emoji. What I will do for y'all players, I will create a page under Montreal.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be called Temple ? Just so you can have the image on there, right?
Yeah.
For those of you who would like to find the same image that Melvin has found, you will need to get your hands on the old Montreal by Night splat book from
back in the day.
From back in the day. Now I realize that I should have censored a couple of things on here. So
I don't see anything.
Good. Let me hide the page. Give me just 2 seconds.
Go to the same place. Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. No, I think it's hilarious. I love it. And he's like, because I feel like I should go back to the scene of the crime. I feel like if we go and I see it, I might be able to figure out something. Maybe not. But you
Yeah.
are kind of a
Yeah.
kindred who gets vibes, right? You understand.
I mean, I'd love to get my hands on a couple of things that were there before. I have no idea if they're still there today. That's the thing. But apparently there was it was like the Library of Alexandria. So you should see it in Temple ? That is the image he has.
Portals.
And he's like, look,
Did you share it with us again?
it's in the it's a page called Temple ? In the Montreal section of Legend Keeper.
Mm-mm.
You had it there, and then you hit it to do something, and then now it's not there.
Because there we go.
Oh, my bad.
Oh,
It's
there
because
we go.
I hid the whole category by mistake. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I feel better now.
he taps the upper right corner where it says
Mhm.
Service Duct to Metro.
Mhm.
He's like, apparently, there were like air ducts, if you will, that led somewhere. From what I heard, a lot of the like Sabbat rats, mostly the Nosses, they would crawl into the place through those tunnels. But I don't know which station, man. And honestly, I haven't looked into that, because as fun as this place might be, the Inquisition went through it. They blew up shit. I don't know if I want to step in there. First, it might just not be sound. Like, it might just, I want to be buried. I haven't lived this long to just, be actually buried in a crypt underground for eternity. And then see in that corner, and he points to basically the left side of the image where you have like a dotted line that says building, entrance, blah, blah, blah. He's like, that thing apparently is a place in Montreal. Somewhere on the island, there is, it looks like a backyard with a fountain. And I mean, lucky as someone who's been to Montreal to visit, unless you're in a park, you won't see any fountains here. People don't really have that, unless you're talking about the little basin with like the little guy that pees. And even there, you're gonna find that mostly in the boonies and not on the island itself. So a fountain is definitely some sort of giveaway.
Can you look at it from that satellite thing you had? Like, could you find the fountain?
I could try to look for one, but I don't know if it's still there.
Well, at least where it was, right? I mean, that map you're looking at has the building, so maybe that same year.
Oh, it doesn't. So the map that he has literally has the word building and building.
But because you showed him, he showed the square with the little nook, right, from like a Google Maps from like a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like,
but it is not. It doesn't look like that sketch he has.
Yeah.
So it's not this place.
Yeah. So did you find the backyard with a fountain on your Google Maps?
I mean, I could. Thing is that's going to take a while. That's going to take a while out of my time and out of the stuff I, do for myself.
Is nobody working on this but us, or what? And you could just, it's like kind of frustrated. He's not mad at Melbourne. He's just sort of like mad at this, like.
Whoa. What the fuck you're talking about working on this? You're asking me to look for a place that doesn't exist anymore. So what does that have to do with
the video that was taken there? In that location?
It was taken there.
Right.
I knew it was
So-
taken underground. I didn't know it was taken in the mythical Temple of Eternal Whispers.
Well, you got to check it out, right? I mean, you don't have to. I don't mind going and putting myself in next to rubble and whatnot, but this video is being circulated, right?
Like I said, I can look for it. Thing is while I look for it, I can't really do my stuff with everything else. So here's what I propose, all right? I'll do that for you. I'll actually start looking. Who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll find it. But if I do find it and you go in there,
Yeah. I imagine nothing's going to be there. Everyone will be thinly burned out, right? I imagine.
even if it is, if you find it, I want you to bring me back everything you find in there. Photos of every room, anything you can get your hands on that you can reasonably carry out to the surface. Everything, even if it looks dumb or out of place, or, I mean, bring me the spent the shell casings of the guns they used.
All right.
Shit, if you can carve out a face, because apparently there were like crying faces on those walls, like if you can carve out a face and bring it over, I would love that.
Now, let me ask you a question.
What?
Have you seen any newcomers to the city in the last few months?
Yeah, the three of you. You,
No.
the girl, and the Florida
we've been-
man.
Yeah, I've been here for 2 years. I mean, recent.
No, you're like the most recent people that arrived.
Nobody else?
As far as I know, not really. Unless someone came in. I mean, it's not like there's a tower with a prince or whatever that, you know, we all have to show up and put our names in a book or some shit. Right now, it's... everyone does whatever they want. So, yeah, sure, there could be someone.
Yeah, there's definitely someone, but I think there's more than one someone.
The fuck you
Somebody's...
think the rats are crawling back?
I don't know what. Somebody's messing with us on purpose.
That's not
This
cool.
is deliberate. I know. They're trying to go and cause trouble. Somebody we think created some brand new kindred, just dump them in the city, and that kindred just running around, just probably with no education, just killing homeless people.
That's one problem. You think it's got something to do with the video?
Yeah, I do. Somebody's poking.
Hmm.
They're trying to find out how we're going to react. And so the question is, who's going to do that, right? Who's been looking at us and trying to provoke us to see where we go? Maybe so we don't trust each other, so we don't become a community, you know? I don't know, but there's something bigger going on, and I don't trust it.
I don't like that either. You know what? That I'm gonna keep my eyes on it for free, because I don't like unpredictable variables.
Somebody, you know that new video they showed at the meeting?
Yeah?
Somebody put that kid up to it.
Not our true witness friend?
No, somebody else. Gave him a list of locations. And that list of locations involves a lot of us.
Wait, do you have that list of location with you?
I don't have it on me. The other ones do.
Was my place in there?
No.
Good.
More public places.
I don't like people
Jungle.
sniffing my place out.
Yeah, me neither. So what I'm trying to say is somebody's been looking, and they've been dumping problems to see how we react. And it's not good.
Keep an eye out.
So I figured we start at the start where it all started, right? Maybe that might give us something.
Sure. It's just... I don't think the people that blew it up have left the city.
No, I don't think they have, but somebody has.
If you want my
somebody's
advice...
Hmm?
Because I'm not gonna stop you. Man, whatever entrances you think I manage to find, assume they're all watched.
Yeah.
If not trapped.
I figure the people with the houseless people need to squatters. Imagine there's some kind who might know something about it. They may not know about it, you know what I mean? But people got to live somewhere, sleep somewhere at night when it's raining. Snow comes.
Yeah.
I imagine there's some kind who might know about it in some kind of a way. You can find them, maybe.
I mean, not a whole lot of us have actual contacts with the houseless.
No.
They were basically used as, well, from what I've read anyway about this place, they were like a cheap buffet for the Sabbat. I don't think anyone decided to become the buffet master since.
No. But something's happening, so. Yeah. Look, if you could just, when you're doing your searches, look for that fountain, maybe find some entrances. I'll ask other people I know because
Sure.
Somebody's moving in and they're doing something and it's going to hit all of us soon.
Keep an eye out.
Probably.
I find anything, I'll let you know.
Hey, and he goes off the top of his head, the jungle, McGill, that cabaret, and he kind of goes through the places he can remember because he didn't write down the list.
No, but as you go through the places, you get to the last one that you can remember. And in the same beat,
Olympic Stadium,
Melvin adds Occam.
Occam's razor.
And you can see his eyes are completely red. And he just repeats Occam. And then the eyes shift back to normal. It's like, those places are weird. But they are places that people congregate, yeah. And he seems to not even have conscience that for a split second he said the word Occam twice.
You said Occam. Did your eyes turn red?
Then I think that's what you need to pay attention to and not those places.
Okay.
That thing, man. I have no control over it. It's like,
Yeah. Do you need something that I can get you? I mean, I know if I can get in there, I'll bring what I can carry. But
everything,
anything
man.
Else?
Yo, they would have old, and I mean way old texts, like before paper.
Yeah. I can't imagine any of that stuff's around, right? But
I said before paper.
I give a quick look at his place to see if there's anything that needs repairing.
The first thing you'll notice is a squeaky computer chair where like the foam inside has like it's been cut in places and it's bursting out. It's barely held by duct tape and like a few loose screws. It is probably the one thing, but otherwise his clothes need repair. His bed actually needs a proper frame. It's just a mattress on the floor. But again, he lives. What he needs to exist is very austere. He's not going to change it until it is no longer.
He goes, all right, listen up. I'm gonna go bring in my some wood, my tools, a couple days. I'll make you a bed frame. And he sort of pulls out like a tape measure, and he measures the mattress, eyes it, makes a note.
Yeah, that doesn't erase though the fact that I want you to bring me shit, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, good. So long as you know.
I know. This is different.
All right. Just checking.
Gives him a fist bump.
This means...
I'm gonna check out the Dorchester Square.
So,
he heads out.
Technically this counts as a... that is an actual boon. that you can note somewhere. He owes you finding an entrance.
Mm-hmm.
In exchange, you owe him bringing him whatever you find in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he fails to upend his end of the bargain, I mean, you're not gonna find the place, so you don't have to bring anything.
Yeah.
But prestations like this with Kindred, those things last forever. And it's something that a lot of vampires have a long memory for those things.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one right now in this city that is tasked with keeping tracks of who owes what.
But that's not what it's about. It's about the relationships.
Yes, but like in a, let's say, purely Camarilla society, sometimes you would have someone who would keep track of prestations. Because, you know, the money of kind just isn't worth anything. So they're like promises.
Yeah.
And one thing that you would, well,
I said I give him what I can carry.
No, but Lucky, can you make, because you weren't raised in a Camarilla society proper.
I was not.
So just out of curiosity, could you just roll academics and occult? Or or politics.
And
either occult or politics.
No, academics is a skill.
No, my bad. Intelligence and occult or politics.
Cancel, okay.
My bad.
No worries. Again, I was not raised in this world. Let's go intelligence.
You only need it's a difficulty 1. Because it's something that you would have probably,
I got it.
You would have probably heard about it. Also, you have
traveled since then.
Yeah, your hunger die isn't in there though, for some reason.
I don't have any hunger. I killed someone.
Yeah, no, that's true. You are at 0. Fuck.
I am feeling real great.
And you didn't get anything by rousing tonight. Holy shit. Yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh, you're so." He's like, "No, I'm feeling great. I have no hunger, like for the first time in ages. Right? I'm really feeling great."
So one of the things that boons actually sort of can do is they have normally as a game term, it's a severity: trivial, minor, major, life.
Oh, I got rid of blood.
Huh?
The trivial, minor, major, blood, life.
No, blood doesn't exist anymore. It's all life.
Yeah.
But basically, you can trade a boon for an equal boon. So let's say he asked you to grab as much as you could. This would be, in this case, especially considering what he, the trouble he would go through. And because he doesn't, it could potentially be a major boon, but in this case it's a minor. Which means that if you ever cannot bring stuff back, you could do something equivalent for him, such as, for example, he left a witness alive, and it could be a masquerade breach, and you kill that witness. That counts as a minor boon. And in the eyes of the vampires who work with these boons, it's fine. Like, I understand you couldn't bring me the shit. I'm not going to hold it against you for all my immortal existence.
Now we'll note that Lucky did say there may be nothing in there, right? He was like, "Hey, if it's there, I will bring it." But because he was like, they probably destroyed everything, but whatever he can get, he'll pick up. You know,
even pictures, it works.
Yeah, and absolutely. It's got which means he's gonna go to Dorchester Square first. He doesn't know that the rest of the gang is going there, but he's gonna go there,
but you're gonna go and look. And so what's gonna happen is we're gonna have our scene with Flory Arthur in Dorchester Square.
Yep.
I'm not there.
Oh, so Flory alone in Dorchester Square, and Lucky, we would see you walk in the background at some point.
Yep.
So if you want to, if the conversation is, you know, loud enough or whatever, something happens, like you could,
violent enough,
you could intervene.
Yes.
Hello, Flory.
Okay, so Arthur is not coming.
Arthur's going to be at the green.
Oh, okay, good. That makes sense.
He's nearby, but he's not there.
A couple of streets
Because-
away.
Because you're in a mood, and you're in a mood where he can't stop you.
Nope.
So he is not going to put himself in that stressful situation.
However, from the Hunter's Green, if you stand on the terrace at the top of the building, because it's a fucking skyscraper, you can see Dorchester Square.
Yeah.
You can't really make out the tiny people moving. You're not quite sure who's Flory in there. Unless you have certain powers.
If
Or
there's
binoculars.
terrace, no. I know how Hunter's Green is set up. Since we're on the top of the skyscraper, I mean, what do you install to make yourself a little extra cash if you have a place on top of
you
the
want the-
skyscraper? Yeah, there's 3 of those.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And you've got the one that doesn't actually require payment in quarters.
Mm-hmm. There's 3 of them. It's part of the benefits of being part of the club.
Okay.
And I imagine that Lucky and Melvin, we've exchanged information multiple times, right? So it's like we have a pretty.
You have him in your contacts as one of the NPCs you have a contact with, so
Yeah.
of course
Yeah.
you know how to reach him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're buddies.
So we jump cut to Dorchester Square. Is Alex with you for the field trip?
We offered to bring him, and then we decided not to, right? That's what we
Yeah.
Well,
decided.
I leave that to you. You want to bring him or not? I suggested no, but we did not
Yeah.
decide.
No, she would have been like, yeah, no, he's not my style.
All right.
She's
So
like,
he would have.
she gave me offered for it to be an educational experience, and then was like, oh, you don't really want to do that? Fine, we'll go over here and I'll do what I
So-
want.
Little Joe, he would have shown you like a pictures, you would recognize him.
Mhm.
He's a guy, look, as pale as Kelly.
Okay.
With
We don't need to, like, we all know that Kelly reflects in the moonlight. It's fine.
Yeah.
We love her.
with black hair arranged in cornrows on the top of his head. He has a few face tattoos, tears, but he probably doesn't know what that means. He's got a
Saw
little knife.
he saw Crybaby and just wanted to emulate Johnny Depp.
Yeah, he's got like a knife that basically stabs the very thin line of facial hair he has.
Yeah.
Of course, he doesn't have like the thin mustache or whatever. It's just a line that goes, and it does nothing to hide the fact that he has a double, very pronounced double chin. He also is wearing a very baggy white shirt, like white Adidas shirt, with several necklaces, all fake jewelry, of course, because you don't think he could afford any of this. And he has baggy cargo pants that he wears very low. He looks like a try-hard hip-hop artist, but like photos of him are on the subreddit Cringetopia kind of thing.
It's okay.
And he is pacing back and forth very slowly, smoking a blunt that you can smell from outside Dorchester Square. It smells like someone ripped a skunk open.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know who he's looking for.
It's okay. She does.
I can't help but think of the Canadian hip hop artist Snow, who had the hit Informer sometime in the, was that the 90s? I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Which, honestly, the better version is Jim Carrey's parody of it. And that was in Living Colors, I think.
So Lori is wearing a yes. Flurry is wearing a little black dress, but it's just a little too nice for an evening in Dorchester Square. And if you actually paid attention, you could see that it was vintage Versace. Donatella. So, you know, early 90s. Donatella Versace.
Mm-hmm.
Little black dress, black heels. And again, the only pop of color that she wears is this blue and, you know, blue gemstone and silver gemstone embroidered red headpiece that she's got. And her hair isn't braided, it's like down in curls at the moment. And she's going with her little clutch, which is a matching Versace bag, because she's going to walk. She's going to take this moment to, she's like looking around, looking like she's looking at the, you know, taking in the night look of what I'm assuming, you know, the buildings around Dorchester. What is the building there?
So Dorchester Square is a very, very small park.
Yeah, but there's that there's that like neo-Gothic building that was right.
Yeah, well, there's neo-Gothic everywhere in Montreal. So if you're standing what we would consider the front of Dorchester Square, okay? The building that is right across the street from you is the Cathedral Mary Queen of the World.
Okay.
Which is an impressive cathedral, which also features prominently in Vampire the Masquerade chapters.
Which we should go get.
The Hunter's Green, in this case, we can't really see it properly, but like, if you're standing in front of Dorchester Square, you look back, you'll see the cathedral. It's in back of you. And then as you're looking to the cathedral, to your front and right, like almost 45 degrees, you would see the building of half of the building that has Hunter's Green on top.
Okay.
So that's how Arthur can see you. Otherwise, around Dorchester Square, which is just, so it's a park that's basically like, I don't know,
you know, I was thinking
100 and so feet by like,
you know, I was thinking
30 yards or whatever. But yeah, it's the cathedral, because otherwise there are other buildings with nice columns and everything around.
Yeah, they're probably the same kind of thing. They're probably lit with floor spots at night.
Yes, because it needs to be
yeah,
imposing.
Just the way things work.
And yeah, the other one is the giant fucking bank.
Yeah, the bank. And so the bank and the cathedral, and she's making it look like she's, you know, wandering
Federal Bank
in the direction of Hunter's Green, but she's like taking her time crossing the square and, you know, taking in the looking around and taking in the bank and the nightlife. He's
basically walking. So there's like Dorchester Square has three, let's call them pathways. So two that crosses it diagonally, forming an X, and then there's a horizontal one. In the center of all of it is a big statue of a guy on a horse. I don't remember who it is. But he's pacing the horizontal path.
Okay. She's taking this opportunity, while it looks like she's just taking in the summer night air, to see if he actually was followed and if anybody's spying on him.
Yes, please make me a roll. You're what I'm looking for, if you are taking your time, would be intelligence and awareness. If you're just looking quickly because you want to not be seen as someone who lingers, that would be wits and awareness.
I would say she's going to go with wits awareness, because she doesn't want him to wait too long before she approaches him, but at the same time she doesn't want to approach somebody who's under surveillance. Could I make an argument for Wit's stealth, as she would know where places around here to hide were?
Sorry, repeat that.
Could I make an argument for Wit's stealth?
If you are looking at for people that would be trying to, no, I would still do awareness. With stealth, I would say if you wanted to find places that you could hide in.
Okay, that's fine. I can make this work.
And
So
of
that's
course,
3
this
successes.
is opposed to whatever
Yeah.
their stealth is. So there's a few people in Dorchester tonight. Either people walking, or you're just hanging out in the park. There's a few bystanders, a few passerbys, but as far as someone who would be tailing someone else, no one that you can see here exhibits that kind of behavior. The guy seems to be completely alone, and if someone was tailing them, they are not within Dorchester Square. And they're not also visible from the square outside. Like, to give you an example, if Arthur was keeping an eye on Lil Joe, this isn't something you could see from Dorchester Square, because you can't see Arthur where he is. So if someone keeps an eye out on him, the only thing that Flory can think of is they would need to be a few blocks away in one of the skyscrapers, like looking through binoculars or a sniper rifle.
Yeah, well, you know, it's
but
not the first time
otherwise, otherwise nearby, like that someone could come in running. No, there's no one within running distance.
Okay, can she take another quick look around to do a quick math on a sniper rifle trajectory from one of the tallest buildings so that she can time the walking up to him as he crosses? You said there's a statue in the middle?
Yeah.
It's like, what side of that statue should I put that statue on when I approach him as he crosses in front of it?
So your best bet is you want him to be north of the statue, because all of the skyscrapers, most of them
are south.
Like, to the north of the statue would be like the top floors of hotels, but they're not as high. It would be very difficult. Yes.
So here's my question that I would like to ask. Looking at the Google Maps, when you go to Street View, that's one thing, but when you go to overhead satellites, another, and that the big difference is how much greenery are on the trees. The Street View, it's like very, like there are no leaves on the trees, and you can see everything.
So technically you want the Google Map, because the Street View was taken in fall, I believe. Let me just...
Yeah. So I just want to know, is there a lot of like foliage? Because like from the overhead, it looks like there's a lot of foliage there that could block a lot of sight.
Yeah, so the
Flory.
Street View was taken in April.
Okay.
Which is what our...
Because we're in August.
Yeah, we're in August, so there is a lot of greenery. The thing is if you're high enough...
Yeah, you can.
And you're looking down one of the paths, or the circle where the statue is, you could see someone.
Yeah.
But if you put yourself north of that statue, with what little giant buildings there are, I mean, it would literally be a shot in the dark. I'm not saying it would be impossible.
Yeah.
But like that means that the person tailing him is fucking, it's not just a random hunter or a random, like we're talking Val level of someone.
Yeah. I mean, she's not doing this as like a true, you know, if she was actually doing this, she would have had planned the whole thing out and staked the place and all of this, but she's just like taking advantage of what's there. And it's he's passing horizontally in front of this statue. I need him to be at this point for me to come around and greet him, mostly put the statue in the biggest place so that, and she's going to wait and walk around, kind of come up on him.
I figured out what the statue was for. I really hope they take it down.
Yeah, well.
It's to commemorate the Second Boer War.
Oh.
And, us fighting for the British Empire.
Nice.
Look, there are a lot of wars you can feel good. You could make an argument are necessary. The Boer War wasn't one of them.
But anyway, sorry, I thought it was something more mundane.
No, okay. So she's gonna come around, and there's this like little voice in the back of her head going, "I know somebody who would be very happy if that statue disappeared. We'll talk about it." And so she's gonna walk up, and she's gonna time it perfectly so that he just walks by, and she's gonna walk in and slink her arm around his and go, "Hi, Joey. You and I have something to talk about."
Oh shit! Yeah.
Keep walking. Smile.
Oh yeah. You a fan?
Oh, your music isn't what we need to talk about yet. We need to talk about your little business in breaking and entering.
Alex. Hey, you. And he gets like another blunt out of his pocket. He's like, "You want one?"
She's gonna take it from him and, using she's wearing, and the nice thing about wearing a Versace little black dress from the 90s, you wear gloves and nobody comments. It just completes the look. And she's gonna take it from him and flick it. Away. You needed to.
He tries to move out of your grip to go and get it. You didn't have to be rude.
You need to smoke a better class of product.
I know.
So don't smoke until you can smoke better, because that seems to be harming your music career.
Oh shit, you've heard my music. Oh, that's
Yes,
cool. Alex told me you were some sort of killer? Or you need to settle some shit with a guy? I didn't think you liked my music. That's pretty cool. There's a killer that liked my music.
And there's this whole thing running in the back of her head is I gave Artie an option to talk to Alex.
So, yeah, what'd you want to know, lady?
Oh, you took something from this house, and somebody just dumped it on you, and then you sold it to
Oh,
Alex.
Yeah, the fucking weird. Yeah, I remember.
I want you to hey, Joey, and she's walking to the edge of the, as walking and talking, right?
Uh-huh.
Walk to the edge of the Dorchester Square towards the Hunter's Green. Joey, I want you to tell me everything about that meeting.
Who's Joey?
Little Joey.
Yeah, that's not my name.
Talk.
Yeah. So I'm in this place, right? It's been empty for a bit. I do that, there's people that do all kind of shit to make ends meet, and what I do is I wait for those B&B places. I mean, often they just leave anyway. I'm clearing this place out. There's fuck all in there. There's some squatter that's been there for, I don't know, maybe a couple of days, a piss-filled sleeping bag and a couple of empty bottles of Bud. Give me 2 seconds. I have to make sure that I have my events in order.
He may not be able to know because he's super high. I mean,
No.
Okay,
It's just it's the way I wrote my sentence. I wanted to make sure I wasn't fucking up. So he's like, yeah. So I'm like, shit. That's a complete bust. So I got my crowbar with me, and I'm just doing the playing with it, you know. And there's this guy that just comes up the stairs and sees me. And like I'm swinging the crowbar, but like I'm not like being menacing. Whatever. The guy, I swear to God, lady, he like pissed himself or something, and he was like, "Don't kill me" or whatever, and he just like shoved a bunch of stuff, and then he like fucking almost tumbled down the stairs. It was just fucking hilarious. The only things I found was, well, basically the only things I got was like the stuff he shoved in my hands. There was like, I don't know, 150, 160 bucks. I spent it all anyway. So yeah, that's gone. Got a cool night out though. I don't even remember half of it. And then there was the DVD. And there was a couple baggies. And
Baggies of what?
Pot. I mean, I kept a couple. There's a couple I sold to Alex because, I mean, the guy needs to lighten up, you know? He's all, like, jittery and shit, and he works all the time. And I keep telling him, man, you need to just take it a day at a time, you know? But Alex is like a squirrel. Like Alex is a
What are you
squirrel.
knocking off?
Oh, it's this, it's a duplex near Westmount. He gives you an address. Like, it's...
Okay.
Well, he doesn't give you, like, the exact address. He says, like, it's, like, it's the gray building on, like, that street. It's, like, the one with the fire hydrant, on the front lawn. So he doesn't know, like, the civic address, but he can describe...
Yeah, he describes the
Yeah.
location markers, which is fine. On the street, she can find that. And she's walking him down towards Hunter's Green, and she's just gonna, when we get to an alley, walk into it.
Hey, as you're walking into the alley, you're not gonna shiv me, are you?
Oh no, Joe, I wouldn't ship you.
Okay, cool, because I got a career in front of me, you know? I have a life to live and shit.
Joe.
I'm a creator, you know?
Joe.
Yeah, what?
And she cocks her head at him for a moment, just as, like, there's no one in this. She picked an alley where there was currently, at the moment, no one there. And she just cocks her head and smiles a little too broadly. Joe.
Do you show your fangs? Do you bare your fangs?
I don't think I have to.
Okay, what are you using?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess I make a predatory grimace. Dread gaze.
Okay, yeah. What
Just a little.
happens to Joe?
Technically, I need to make a rouse check. But I need to roll charisma and presence against their composure resolve.
Composure and resolve. Okay.
And then we'll see what happens when they. Okay. Oh no, that's not what I wanted.
It's an opposed
Sorry.
roll, right?
It's an opposed roll.
Yeah. A whopping 1 success.
Okay, so the difficulty is 1 then.
The difficulty is 1.
3 successes.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. And what about the rouse check?
And the rouse check comes after.
Holy
oh no,
shit.
I'm hungry again. Which is fine, because she is a little in front of him, and because he failed, fun fact, mortals are unable to act other than in their own defense, backing off for a turn. They can't do anything. He can't do anything.
Yeah.
So she just goes to lean forward and go, "You really want to not?"
No, actually, since you win,
Yeah.
he runs in fear. if you fail, so
okay.
like the worst that could happen for you is he's stunned for a round.
If he's stunned for a round.
Otherwise, right now he's going to just run the fuck away.
She's kind of penned him in. She doesn't want him to run yet. She wants him to freak the fuck out.
I mean, you can tone it down if you want to tone it down.
Yeah. She will. It's not that she will. I kind of want him to eventually run the fuck away. But I want him to run away.
Not quite yet. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, that's fine. Keep going. He pees himself.
Oh, he's going to. It's fine. I was going to say something and no. Okay. Joe.
Yeah.
You should lay off the drugs and go home and see your mama. She misses you.
I love my mom.
And she really cares about you, but you're upsetting her with all this drug behavior and breaking and entering.
Yeah, if you don't kill me, I'm gonna lay off the drugs, man. I'm gonna be clean, squeaky clean. Swear to my mom.
I know where you live, Joe.
I think that's when he's gonna freak out and try to run away.
And she's just gonna move her hand and let him go.
Like,
she wants him freaked out.
He runs, he trips because his pants, of course, are super loose and just hanging around his ankles. So he trips, break his face on the pavement. There's that little splatter of blood there when his nose hits the asphalt. You're hungry, Flory. You're hungry.
But I'm not that hungry.
You're more than 50% hungry.
Yeah.
50% hungry.
But I'm planning to eat somewhere else.
Yeah.
Smells like cheap pie.
He smells like skunk and pee right now. I don't think that's what you want.
No, it's like I want something to eat, but not.
But not him. No, but like it's just you see the blood and you're like, oh yeah, right. I have to make dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It's passing by the bad Waffle House. You smell food, but you don't want that.
Yeah.
No, you want to go 2 blocks over and go to the good Waffle House.
But it's on that as we hear the scream of a panicked little Joe running across as he just goes, "Just get out of my way! Shit! I don't want to die! I don't want to die!" That we're going to end our session tonight.
I need to remember to add that extra die when you use discipline powers.
Yep. But that's okay, it worked.
Yeah, it did. But it was one of those like, we talked about it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming, players.
Are you worried? Mm-hmm. Not you, Simon. Hope.
This isn't full-blown London, but it's getting close. It's in the same zip code.
Okay.
No, it's not even the same county.
I mean, technically it's in the same Commonwealth.
So, I mean...
It's in the same empire. But thank you so much for coming, players. Thank you, chat, for being here tonight. I have stopped trying to end this game at 11. It is impossible. So whatever, we run until we run out of fuel, or I find a dramatically appropriate moment to end. But that said, players, please tell us who you are, where we can find you, if you have anything going on this week. And I would like, instead of giving love tonight, I'm going to ask you to be a little bit like Arthur. And I want you to tell me, to summarize what you think is actually going on. And we'll do this
specific.
So, what do you think? So you've spoken with Joe. I see your messages in chat and everything. It's like, what do you think? What do you think? And not to worry, my answer is already written. It's been written for a while. That's not going to change. But I want to see just how on or off the mark you are. So we'll start with Arthur, the one with the conspiracy board.
I'm going to be totally off the mark. I know this. I know the spell. But, like, there's so much that just doesn't add up. like, Joe's story don't hold a heck of a lot of water. Do I think he was lying? Not especially, but it still doesn't add the hell up. So, somebody's fucking with everybody, and I don't know who, and it pisses me off. Pisses me and Arthur off because I can't. I'm still the algebra. We still have too many things that we're solving for. So I can't do it. But hey, everybody, Pope here, Pope Rollbill on Twitter, Pope Rollbill on Twitch. I like your streams. If you want to find me, follow these people because I follow them around like a puppy. And they are all very good folks to follow. So next you'll see me is Saturday over on Practical Thesmophoria. I know that's a lot of letters. That's why you do the follow. And for a Song of Gapia, where I wear a very different hat, but I'm no less frustrated. And then Sunday, same bat time, same bat channel, for more of Witcher Roads Home, as there's likely an execution in the future. And there's definitely necrophages. So things are happening. And then definitely be back here for more Montreal by Night. I love that moment between Arthur and Lucky just about broke my heart. And that's going to be a point of contention. And there is going to be the conspiracy board. There's going to be more fallout from this moment than any of us intend. That is what's going to be the thing. The conspiracy thing. This moment right here in Dorchester Square is going to cause more trouble than Zeke's death. I guarantee it.
Thank you for coming, Pope. Deirdre, you're next.
Yeah, okay. So I want to follow that with a statement of like, that's just what happens when you've got a clan whose beast can be assuaged just by eating a dude versus somebody whose clan can't be assuaged until the problem is solved. And this is an existential problem that will be going on for a while.
I will note it wasn't just eating a dude. It was specifically going against Artie's orders. And it was being rebellious in a way that, like, yeah.
Yeah, not the same thing, though. But, it's okay. It'll be fine. It'll all be fine. Won't it? No, it'll be a thing. It'll be a thing. It'll be great. But hey, and hey, all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter, or Praxagorthesme4. You see me around on Twitch, your friendly neighborhood Prax. And as for the question of what's going on, Flory has an idea. Flory has a list of things that she thinks is going on. She knows that Joe didn't lie to her, as far as he is aware. But she's convinced that he is so fucking he's such a big pothead that he can't be, that no one would actually be threatened by him.
Yeah.
Even swinging like
a crowbar.
Just that description with swinging a crowbar, there's no way he is coordinated enough to be a threat. He'd probably drop that crowbar on himself if he actually tried to be a threat, and everyone would know it. So Flory is convinced that someone knows about Alex and is using Joe to communicate with Alex. And that also tied in, and it may or may not be this turn dump that exists that she isn't 100% sure of. But as for love, I loved the moment between Lucky and Arthur, and I loved Arthur's like, well, fuck, I'm just gonna step out of the way of Flory because she just in a mood. It's a thing.
can't stop her.
But if you actually look at what she's done, even though she's like force of, her give a fuck is broken at the moment.
Oh, she's still getting shit done. It's just going to cause more problems.
Those are future problems. And I loved Lucky's like, well, none of these other people are helping, so I'm going to go talk to, the one people in town that I know that I like and could help.
And when he said other people,
Yeah.
he wasn't talking about Artie and Flora. He was talking about what's up with all these vampires? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
But
no, I figured that.
But also props Simon. I love Melvin.
Oh yeah, me too.
Melvin is actually my boss's original vampire character in a campaign he ran for years. So I have some of Melvin's stats. But yes, I probably don't play him the same way. Also, don't play him, in French.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
But yes, because originally Melvin was in France, was in Paris. But he is in chapters. He has moved from Europe to Montreal exactly for the same reasons all of you are moving, because it's it's free real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's if you ever break the masquerade in chapters, you will meet Melvin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Don't break the masquerade.
Yep. Nope.
Or do I'm not your father.
Yeah, it's a problem. But no, she's not going to do that. She cleaned up everybody's masquerade messes. And this wasn't a masquerade breach. This dude's too high to know what the fuck he saw. For anybody to actually believe him.
Except for a hunter.
yeah.
That's okay. Flory also hasn't danced with a hunter in a little while. I mean, in her current mood, that might almost be fun. I didn't say I, the player, wanted to do it.
There is a phrase I use for hunters. Are you Buick enough to survive?
Oh,
I have an RV for a reason.
fair.
Not your RV. Are you Buick enough to survive?
I use an RV for a reason. But as for me, again, I can't wait for next week. It'll be great. So you can find me on my channel, Praxagorth Esmeophoria, for Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for A Song of Agapia's Fortune, high-level D&D, and things are getting interesting there. They have to make a decision this week about what they're going to do first. Do they try and find the missing 21 divine casters, or do they maybe deal with the remains of the 7 dead paladins that were dumped? Things that you have to ask yourself. Oh wait, and that sorceress thing with the blood curse, all of that. There's a lot going on. And then on Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on my channel, for Witcher Roads Home, which is all of the fun. We are in Mahakam, wrapping up the Mahakam arc at the moment. Poisonings, family dinners, and if
Someone's not the father.
Someone is not the father. Also complicated. It's very complicated. Oh, wait, and necrophage is attacking Mahakam from underground. It's going to be a problem. But on top of that, if you like, and if you haven't ever caught any of Witcher Roads Home, I'm just going to drop a link in chat. It's linking to my Ko-Fi, but that's because it's easy to do. And I can do this pretty easy to share this. Can't I just do this easy? You know what? I'm just going to drop it there. I decided to go ahead and make a highlight of the wonderful Lord Math, played by a wonderful friend who's in this who's going next. And just about that introduces you to the wonder and glory that are my players sitting at that table every week. And I appreciate each and every one of them, just like I appreciate each and every one of you. Well, all of you play at that table. So.
Well, and the wonder and glory that's Lord Math. I mean, just ask him, he'll tell you.
Exactly, he will. But other than that, you can check my Twitter, because I suppose where I'm going to be, the fun, wonderful people I hang out with, like these fine folks, and all of the games that I write, because I do that too. And, you know, you can check those out if you like to tell stories with your friends around your table. Until next time.
Thank you for coming. Trooper.
Hey, I'm Trooper SJP. Also, I'm playing, you know, Lucky Dixon, who is happy-go-lucky and also is full of good luck and having a great time. Oh my goodness. You can find me, what is today, Monday? For RPGs, you can find me on Friday at 7 p.m. on my channel, Trooper SJP Eastern, where I'll be running a one-shot of The Zone, which is a surreal body horror sort of story RPG indie game with a really cool digital interface, and it's currently kickstarting, and I'm really excited for it. We got some good cast, and everyone's going to die except for one PC. That's just a thing that's going to happen. We just have to figure out who's going to last. Yeah,
we know the answer. It's the brunette girl who
probably
is,
that's
who
actually,
is not getting involved with inappropriate sexual relationships.
That's what happens. I'm just saying. And then on Sunday, you know, I think you know it's gonna be Witcher Roads Home, and my character, Lord Math, who by the way is a noble, third son, and third child, you know, and like clearly very important. Nobody knows who he is, and I'm sure everybody knows who he is. Nobody does, and like I'm very, you know, we just go be exciting, because he's in charge now. And he's very excited to take charge of all of the investigations because everybody respects his authority. So as for what's going on, so Lucky has so he's heard many things. Artie has lots of feelings. Artie feels that Val's involved. There's all this stuff that Artie thinks there's a big, large conspiracy. Lucky is not so certain. Lucky thinks there is a conspiracy, but he doesn't think that all roads lead to Val. That just seems like a lot. He feels like there's someone who's outside of the city. Maybe somebody who was once in Montreal but escaped, or someone else, maybe Camarilla. He doesn't know who it is, but he feels as if there's somebody who he doesn't think it's Val, because he thinks Val wants to apparently torture everybody in some kind of a way, or at least torture Art. He thinks somebody wants Montreal. And he thinks that this person who wants Montreal is setting up little fires all around the city in order to sow discord between people and or learn where everybody is and what their resources are so that person can come in and invade later. And he doesn't know who it is or how long they've been observing or what they want. And he's not quite certain the best way about finding out that information, but he thought he wants to find his sire because maybe she knows something. But either way, he wants to make sure he wants to find her. But he thought, if I can find this place where this video is taken, it might be, because as far as he knows, Artie was like, I'm going to go and take care of these people, and Florey's going to take it. So he figures, okay, Artie and Florey are going to go and take care of finding little Joe, finding Steve, taking care of this stuff. So they've got that part. So he's like, you know what can I do? I'm going to go and see if I can go back to the scene of the crime, or at least find out where it might be. And maybe there's something we missed. So he's thinking that he wants to like try to go back to the beginning, because he feels as if the root to this story has to do with the Night of Ashes, a time when he wasn't there. So he wants to find out as much as he can about the past, thinking it might be possibly a key to the future. And if I get to give love, I'm going to give love to how sketchy Florey can be when she feels like it. You know what I mean? Like, she's very friendly, and then she's scary, and I love that about her. I find that to be awesome. Very much so. Also, that moment when Artie's like, Go to your touchstones. Don't go that road. And here's the thing. Actually lost the humanity, so I've got no stains, got no hunger. I'm feeling great. And hanging out with your touchstones does not do a thing for you mechanically. So he's like, I'm fine. What? He's feeling great. And he's like, I don't know why you're so freaked out. Like, I'm feeling great. This is like the best time. Yeah. It's loss of humanity is what that is. But you don't feel bad about it.
That's
you don't feel bad about it.
No, you have no regrets.
Yep, no regrets.
So, thank you for coming, everyone. Some of the things you said are true. Is all I can say. But that said, I'm Simon at Wandering DM. Thank you everyone for coming. And here, as I said earlier, here is the link to the Kickstarter for Werewolf the Apocalypse Retaliation, the game I am the lead narrative designer for. If you want to be notified, the Kickstarter campaign starts on November 15th. But you can click on that link and click to be reminded, along with the 2,300 other people that have clicked on the little button. That said, Vampire the Masquerade chapters, so the game that takes place in Montreal, basically the, RPG in a box of Montreal by Night, is shipping out in November. So if you have kickstarted it, you should expect it rather soon, because holy hell, we're in October. And then you can get it at your local FLGS as well if you want to buy 30 pounds worth of Vampire the Masquerade.
Nice.
Otherwise, we'll be here on Thursday for the finale of Hill Country Horror. We will not be here on Saturday for Scion because I am gone to a cabin in the woods to play horror game with my home group. So I might not make it out.
Will you give us a GPS? Also, okay, here's the thing. Don't have sex. If some of your friends start getting murdered, don't just have sex and thinking it'll be fine, because that's definitely the way to get murdered.
Yeah, I know.
Don't split up. Like a bunch of things,
In a horror movie, I'm the guy who wants to find more about the monster, so I tend to die first. Remember,
do not read from the book.
Don't read from the book.
I eat the books. I eat the books. That's what I do.
Yeah, I
don't eat the books either. Oh, no.
So, on that note, thanks everyone for coming. We'll see you again next week for episode 6 of our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. Bye-bye, everyone.